Hello.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Not that I celebrate shit
Yeah.
days, but that's just a personal thing. One is because I was raised in religious cult kind of, and we didn't really celebrate anything because that would be like putting
Idolatry
yourself
or whatever.
above God. No, it'd be putting
No.
yourself above God.
Oh,
Because you have to, their whole life has to be. That's also reminds me, like when people say, why do you care so much about this? Literally, this has been like a nightmare in my life, the God thing.
right.
When I was 15, I used to think I was possessed with demons. I mean, literal demons,
Right.
because I had sexual desires. So it literally fucks you up inside. And just think too, my family didn't, my mom, whatever, didn't feel as connected to me or like me or whatever the fuck, or think something was wrong with me because I was born intersex.
Right.
And always for my whole life treated me that way. Something is not right,
Yeah.
Anyways, so
Pretty damaging stuff.
Well, this goes back. Well, right, but the reason that is the case is religion.
Right.
My mom wouldn't have felt that. What would why would anybody feel? I was born that way. How the fuck did I do anything wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To think that a child is something wrong, it's like that's wrong. That's you know what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
let's
for
think
sure.
about wrong and what religion does. Religion to me sells itself as this thing of peace that has never happened, even in and I don't also just mean it doesn't ever happen like between them and others, the outsiders. This never happened in the inside.
Right.
It's like show me a world religion that hasn't like fractured itself from the inside.
There's always conflict, right?
Yeah. Buddhism does. Sikhism does. Sikhism, I told you before. There was not too long ago. There was a thing where a whole bunch of them are actually fighting with real swords and shit, in their temples, and they're all supposed to be about peace and stuff. But my point is, I'm saying is, like I told you before, and it's not just me trying to be, hyperbolic or just, straw man religion, but I see it as toxic. It's this toxic substance that people can use without it harming them. It's not like, just like, you can take small amounts of all kinds of poisons and not harm yourself.
Yeah.
It's actually the excess of it that generally, and if you see that, the people, and it just is logical, the more people are actually following the religion as if it was real, the more crazy they seem, right?
Oh,
Even people that are religious, someone's a religious fanatic. When you say that should be literally that they believe the religion fully. But what it means is a freaking lunatic, or whatever.
Yeah.
Someone that wants
who's
to
taking it too far.
It's just absolutely being vile. And that's also why I think it's crazy when they try to say, like me, being an out atheist, anti-theist, anti-religionist, whatever, that somehow I'm the one hating. It's like, literally, you haven't, I guess, read a lot of my stuff, because that's not what I do. In fact, I'm really against hate, including, anti-Semitism. I'm against that. And just like this video is going to be about, Israel and their war crimes, but also, you can't remove the religion aspect, especially since, as we already talked about in a different video, Israel makes sure that is a part of them. The religion, I'm saying, is because they actually don't. People think that anybody can just immigrate in a sense to Israel as long as they're genetically Jewish or whatever.
Right.
Wrong.
But that's not the case.
That's actually wrong. No, you can only immigrate if you are Jewish or convert to Judaism.
Yeah.
So me and Cory, this goes back to when some people say that there's people that can go there that have no genetic connection.
Right. It's because they converted.
Well, that's my point. My point is, me and Cory are both atheists, but we could both. He's from Canada and I'm from America, but we could both, in a sense, convert to Judaism, which that's not happening. But convert to Judaism and then go and move to Israel, in a sense, probably.
Right.
Which now that I do have an issue with,
for sure.
So, but I don't agree that all people that are Jewish are somehow not related to that area. That's inaccurate to me. I told you, you can look at both the Palestinians and the people that are Jewish, and it's about 50% of, in a sense, Canaanite DNA or the Kurgal axe culture DNA.
Right. Yeah.
And so I told you that actually who has, I think it's 90 to 95% is Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the percentage. This also goes back to when people say, what should a Palestinian or a Jew look like? Well, if you're saying who's the indigenous people, as I've told in a different video, I'm not trying to be bigoted against anybody or say anyone's better or special. I'm just saying it's the Lebanese, and they are light-skinned almost exclusively. So this goes back to people saying that the dark-skinned Palestinians against the white Israelis. That just sounds like racism shit, first off.
Right.
But also, how about this? What if I was 100% Israeli and I marry someone black and my kid become dark? Does that make them more indigenous or less indigenous?
Right. Yeah.
So I don't like all that racist kind of shit anyway. So to me,
it's almost like it's an attempt at the one drop rule, but on a different way.
Right. So you see, you get at least my thinking, right? I don't know if Cory always agrees with everything I think, but I'm saying that you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Me, I find that kind of talk ridiculous. There's plenty of stuff about Israel. We don't have to bring up racist shit.
Yeah.
Literally, they're fucking genocide, killing people, fucking doing war crimes. That's the shit that we should care about. Not if they're or not somehow part of the color is correct for the area. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, that's right.
So at least that's my opinion. At least,
Yeah, I have issues with people like I'm not a big fan of people like claiming a particular right to the land. Like there's a variety of reasons why, say, the indigenous people of North America or Turtle Island have a better claim to the existing land than Canada does or US does.
Oh.
But I'm not a big fan of like claiming land, right? Like,
well, true. As an anarchist, so people know that it's not like I come here with no bias, or Cory can go say whatever your political belief is. I just want to say it before so people don't say, oh, I'm a liberal or I'm this or I'm that. I am a socialist anarchist. That's what I generally call myself. I actually test at almost anarcho-communist. I just have my own way of thinking, so I'm not exactly there probably, but close. That's a good enough explanation if someone wants to know who I am, an anarcho-communist. But I also call myself an anarcho-humanist. This is not meaning anything about how we run the society socially, in a sense, or economically. That's what. Right. Although anarcho-humanists would say it should be humanistic, and thus it can't be capitalism. But that's not my point. My point is any sort of anarchism could be also anarcho-humanism. It's not removing the other stuff. Just like me, I am an atheist. I am agnostic. I am anti-theist, anti-religionist, secularist, humanist. So I can be all that humanist too. And that's what I was saying, because people get confused that when I say something, it's not like this is it and now you can't be something else. Like I said before, Cory can be like me, an anarcho-communist and also anarcho-humanist. But not saying you have to be. But anyways, what I mean by it is that there's an ethical way I choose my behaviors and that I expect from others. So that's what the anarcho. It's that I do no harm, but also that I do good. It's a requirement I put on myself, a burden that I am going to do good. Period. I'm going to do good, even if it's like, well, it's hard. It's a bad day. It sucks. People are pissing me off. People told me to fuck off or whatever. And do I tell them fuck off back? No, because I have chosen to do good. They are doing the bad behavior. That's why some people don't understand how I use kindness or whatever to motivate different behaviors, and how I'm able to talk to people and say things, and all of a sudden they just agree with me. Like I have one where the guy starts off by saying, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, scumbag, whatever. I can't remember all the crap he said. But at the end, the last thing he said after talking to him for 3 hours, at the end, he said, I respect what you do. And all it's like a totally it wasn't gonna friend me, but it totally changed it. But anyways, but this goes back to I'm thinking. So that's how I try to just to people understand. That's how I'm not a Marxist. I do axiology. I try to value judge, and I try to explain, which is in a sense science does this too. Anyone who's logical or science or whatever is probably doing something close to this. So if your goal is to understand what is of value, and what that means to us is what is true, what is good, what is honest, what is just, what is ethical, what is beneficial, which is flourishing. It's all the positive, but also axiology understands all the negative. all the things that are bad, evil, terrible, harm, whatever. So we're very, in a sense, social justice because we grasp all this shit. It literally, so now as like people do a Marxist analysis or an anarchist analysis, I do an axiological analysis, which takes in everything. It's biopsychosocial, biology, psychology, social. It's the whole picture. It doesn't, because once again, as an axiologist, needing to have what is actually of value, I got to do what, Corey? I kind of start with I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I start with I don't know, meaning that I need to go look. And so that's what I generally do. I have to go look. I force myself because I try to be an honest thinker. I want to know and I want to get the right value. How can I say something is good or not good? I don't even think about it to me. Right? I mean, so so this is why, to me, if you can stay silent while people are being genocided, there is fucking something wrong with you.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean in a moral sense. Morally, you should feel compelled. That's why I said the axiology. I see the problem. Holy shit, something needs to be done.
Yeah.
And so, as you know, this wasn't actually even a video that I wanted to have to do.
Right.
I was actually hoping we were back on talking to China so we can hurry up and get to the Americas, because I really, in fact, I'm buying 2 of John Hoop's books about the pre-Columbian stuff in Ecuador, Colombia, and Venezuela, I think, or something like that. But anyways, because I don't know as much about like that middle part, and I know people don't focus on it, and it is important to me because I think the ideas came from California all the way down.
Right.
Which, actually, in the California stuff relates to people that came in through Alaska or whatever. So it went boom, boom, because from 5,000 years ago, a group of people relate to the people that went down to Peru. And there is Nadain DNA in the Mayans, like I told you before. So it just shows, and I know the Aztecs and the whole language went from since the Arizonas or whatever, California, and then Arizona, and then went to Mexico. So I mean, a lot of these things are way more connected, as we already talked about, than people know. But this goes back to the same thing about land and who is it. But see, even if, so say that Israel owned the whole land, is this the way to behave? See, this is axiological, simple to me. Fuck no. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm just going back to why I say axiology. You got to grasp it because it makes and let's say this. Israel, I do believe that Hamas acted like terrorists, and so killing innocent, freaking raping or whatever, all that shit is fucking wrong.
Yeah.
That is not an excuse to go fucking genocide and fucking carpet bomb people.
Yeah.
I don't. It's hard for me, Corey, because I'm like, what? Is it really this hard for people to grasp this shit?
It really does seem so obvious that how is the world this backwards? It just doesn't make any sense.
And that's why I feel like I want to do these videos, or I feel like I have to, even though maybe someone else could do it in a different way. Like some people don't like my style, or oh well, I'm going to do my style. So yes, it's like they don't talk about being intersex, or don't talk about anarchism. Oh, I'm going to do that. So either you're okay with it, or I guess not.
I guess move on if you don't like it.
Yeah, I really don't care. So
yeah,
I don't do anything to try to, besides sharing on the thing. I don't pay no money to promote any of my stuff. So I'm gonna do that when I make jewelry, because I'm trying to make money. But I do all this stuff just because I care. And like I said, seeing stuff and it was hard too. Like I told you, is I like it when people are fighting back, but then when they sound like they're being racist as well, or sexist, like saying, I don't care if the people were, murdered and killed. You should care. What the fuck?
Care. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
But so it's hard for me, because at least once again, I'm not going to speak for anyone else. I'm an axiologist. I see everything of value. There's no way in hell I can see people getting hurt and go, oh yeah, it's great stuff.
It's fine.
Fuck
all of a sudden, no.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Corey, tell people, about your politics a little bit so people understand our biases.
Yeah, sure. I mean, much the same biases, I think. like I say, I identify as an anarcho-communist. I don't believe in states. I don't believe anyone owns land, which is part of why I do believe in giving the land, quote unquote, land back to Indigenous people on Turtle Island because they didn't behave as though they owned it. They behaved as though they lived on it, and in many cases.
Well, to me, just on that one point, I think that they as far as this society is in currently, they own it because they had treaties that the United States fucking broke.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true.
Right. So, I mean, they own it. It's illegally removed. It literally
by the laws of the state that claim it.
That's what I'm. So they literally, America has violated its own laws to do crimes against the Indigenous people that lived here, and then they don't think they own land back.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So first off about that. Second off, I do believe that people have a right to be places, and we should try to go have it, in a good way. Never has America, not even to this fucking day, treated Native Americans in a fair way. Never.
No, that's right.
Never fucking happened. And it still has not happened. It's fucking gross as fuck. It's shameful. And people go like, "Do you proud of America?" How in the fuck can I be proud? I mean, one person said, "What?" I know too much history to be fucking proud. This person goes, "Oh, MAGAs have made me, be ashamed to be an American." I thought, American history made me ashamed.
That's right. It was learning the history of my country that made me ashamed.
And it's still going on. Because remember, the first time I ever heard something, I mean, I knew some stuff, but I didn't know it was currently still happening. You said we're like fantasy land, white land, where I'm like, oh, the natives don't get hurt. They're all great now. Everything's fine. Everybody has rights now in America. Anyways, because stupid didn't know. But the first time I really realized that something was fucking wrong was when California said they were going to vote if the natives have a right to be taxed or not taxed on income that the natives make on native land in casinos. Because the people were Californians going there. And I went, what the fuck? We can vote to take away their rights?
I guess. That's fucked up, eh?
So to me, that it's in right there. But there's more. I'm not going to go on all that. America's terrible. Just to hint on America real quick, I did send you a thing about America. So I'm going to tell you some of the blogs that we're going to do or we're going to read through. So we're going to read a little bit of each one. We're going to free flow this. It's more angry than. But anyways, so I want to get everything out. But anyways, the one blog is going to be the name of the video, which is "The War Crimes of Israel, Acting Like a Terrorist State Would." But we will also talk about, as we already have, on America, of course. And so I have a blog we're going to kind of be hinting or reading through is American Propaganda and the Myths of Freedom, Equality, Democracy, and Liberty. Those are myths in America. And we'll also read a blog on slavery, racism, religion, and the Confederate flag. And there's something I know that a lot of the people are like, oh, well, America's going to become, fascist. I'm like, okay, let's look at history. Adolf Hitler got a lot of his racist ideas from, you guessed it, America. So the good old US of A that was, the inspiration for the actual Nazis. So when people are like, aren't you proud of America? I'm like, fuck, it almost makes you ill when you learn this shit.
No, absolutely not.
Right? And I know it's probably different for you as a Canadian. You're hearing me like going crazy about America, but you that live here, it's fucking been hell. So
it's a very similar thing. Like we literally came in and the Indigenous people that we couldn't kill, we put into schools so that we could beat them and train them to not be Indigenous peoples, so that we could erase their cultures and their identities. And it's
vile.
It's vile. It's disgusting stuff.
Right. I mean, axiology. Is that okay? No. Okay. No. I mean, that's like I said, to me, it seems simple. But anyway, so going back to this thing. So we're also going to touch on a little bit the understanding of worldwide statistics and dynamics for terrorism, incidents and suicide attacks, because we're just going to touch on it real quick. We're also going to touch on that's a blog. And then it'll all be down in the information. And we're also going to read one a little bit from the Muslim terrorists and Christian terrorists. And then let us not forget, of course, about the United States and its war crimes. So, Corey, let's go to that right now. The link that I gave you for the war crimes in the
Israel
messages or whatever, not email, just messages.
Yeah, the one that's titled "War Crimes of Israel."
It's a Wikipedia page. We're just gonna read. You don't even. It's so everyone knows this, and yet it fucking doesn't know it because there's a Wikipedia page called United States War Crimes.
Yeah,
because it's not like there's just. Yeah, I know people. I understand. I feel for you deeply. Because I know you've been fucking lied to. People in America like to believe that the United States is usually the good guys, but the history, and the reality does not actually back that up. So let's go ahead and read what it says. We're supposed to read the first part before it says definition. Just read what it says.
Okay, so it says United States war crimes are violations of the law which were committed by members of the United States Armed Forces after the signing of the Hague Conventions of 1899 and 1907 and the signing of the Geneva Conventions. The United States prosecutes offenders through the War Crimes Act of 1996, as well as through articles in the Uniform Code of Military Justice. The United States signed the 1999 Rome Statute, but it never ratified the treaty, taking the position that the International Criminal Court, ICC, lacks fundamental checks and balances.
So pause for a second. Wait. The people think that they're the world's police does not accept International Criminal Court?
Yeah.
The fuck? Go ahead.
Absurd. The American Service Members Protection Act of 2002 further limited U.S. involvement with the ICC. The ICC was conceived as a body to try war crimes when states do not have effective or reliable processes to investigate for themselves.
Pause for a second. Why wouldn't you want that then?
Right.
Literally. Who is for not figuring out war crimes?
People who commit war crimes.
An ethical person or
the people who commit war crimes are going to be against the body that doesn't want to investigate them.
Maybe America is not the good guys. I've never seen that little committee that says, "Are we the baddies?" Yes, you are.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. You're against international courts figuring out war crimes.
Mm-hmm.
Why does that bother you? Unless if you're doing war crimes.
yeah. There's no good reason to avoid to dodge that.
It's like when people are like, "Oh, I'm against laws that stop rape." I'm like, why would you be against a law that stops rape? Who the fuck would be against that law? Or raping children or something? What? How could you be against that law? I mean, that law.
Don't be against that. Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, like I was going to say, the anarchists that I don't want any law. No, I want laws that makes fucking sense. That value dignity and honor, the integrity of everyone to make their own choices.
Yeah, I mean, if one wants to get into a little bit of the anarchist kind of viewpoint on laws, right? Like laws in itself, as we understand them now, are only in service of power, right? So,
yep.
So if you have a society that's set up differently and you have a set of rules or laws that you say, like, these are meant to limit the harm done to innocent people, then that's a different situation than, right?
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. You cannot axiologically judge those equal.
Yeah.
Right?
Because we're just not in that world.
Nope.
But
I'm saying that's why I said, to me, when I think axiologically, it makes things simple. There's very little. I mean, there is black and white sometimes, and also other variations, gray, whatever.
Right.
Thinking, but a lot of things are actually black and white because they're really good choices. Like I was saying about is the world real? Is it not? Okay. Well, what could be involved? Oh, real dignity beings that might be real, or they're not, and it doesn't matter. Oh, well, I'm going to have to act like they're real.
Yeah, that's right. Like you act as if.
Well, because it's a moral obligation.
Yeah.
Axiologically, holy shit, people can actually be hurt. So yeah. So it's saying, like, how should you act? I don't know. Axiologically, you should act that furthers the betterment of everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Selfishness is not a good axiological thing for society.
Right.
But go ahead and keep reading a little bit.
Sure.
And we're going to get to Israel. I just wanted to address this because everyone acts as somehow, even if Israel is bad, well, the United States is still good. No, they're not good. That's what I'm trying to. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. So the United States says that it has investigated many of the accusations alleged by the ICC prosecutors as having occurred in Afghanistan, and thus does not accept ICC jurisdiction over its nationals.
Hold on a second. Jurisdiction. Don't you fucking like that?
Yeah.
Here it is, something that's trying to do an international court, and America says, yeah, you don't have jurisdiction over us. It reminds me when religious people are like, I know you have child abuse laws, but I really want to hurt my kids. So let me have a religious exemption so I can keep hurting my kids, even though it's actually child abuse.
Yeah.
You gotta love that.
Yeah.
Hate it.
Yeah, and like it's the argument against like the UN in general, right? Because the United States is too powerful as a country.
Yep.
So then the UN, ultimately, no matter what they do, the ICC, the WHO, these organizations that are supposed to do the worldwide global betterment, like they don't actually have the power because the United States can just disregard whatever they say and do whatever they want.
Well, they just do. And that is also evidence of how unethical America is.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, like I said, you don't have to think that hard. The same thing, like one of the reasons I don't know why everybody doesn't like NATO. There's a lot of different reasons. Anyways, one of the things I do not like is how you can choose to protect countries or to not protect countries. So don't call it anything ethical.
Right.
An ethical society would say no one can attack anyone, and anyone that does, the world will be against you. That would be ethical, not which country? Oh, fuck. We don't care about those fuckers.
We're fine with that. Yeah.
Literally, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or then when we go there, we're like, hey, by the way, we need oil. We seem to not really care when like African countries, pop off and need help or something.
Right.
Unless they have fucking oil. And then, all about that.
Yeah, like I mentioned it before. My partner is from Burundi. Many Burundians consider the quote unquote international community to just be a joke because nobody helps that country because they can't exploit it the way they want to.
That's what I'm saying. So it's never been ethical. So to me, it's a scam. It's acting like, oh, we're these great countries and we ethically protect Europe. Like,
Europe, maybe.
That sounds real fucking racist.
Yeah, they protect Europe, but not the world. Like,
but anyways, I'm just making the comment that they try to make it as an ethical thing, but to me, an ethical thing is no one should be hurting anybody.
No, exactly.
And we should always fight against that group. But see, this is also I really fucking hate. Why is war the only thing we all seem to champion and not, I don't know, helping no child go hungry?
Yeah,
helping no more domestic violence, no more rape. How about no more homelessness? We can fucking. Why is it that we always have nothing but endless amounts for war?
Yeah, trillions, like you say, like the United States spends trillions on the military, and refuses to have universal health care, refuses to have homelessness programs where they just housing first, right? Like housing first programs. The government of the United States is, for some reason, a warmonger country. Well,
it's bad.
I would blame
it's even worse. It's on both sides.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's a fact. No matter which president get in, the land over there in the Middle East is going to be fucked.
Yeah.
Because as much as people feel that Biden is being a Zionist, they are forgetting fucking Trump, remember, is a massive fake Zionist.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually care.
No.
He just
but
wants to further his goals in a sense. And what it is, I don't think it's totally about Jewish, even though he has children that are somewhat Jewish. I think it's really about Christian nationalism of why he cares. To me, it's that's what I mean by fake. He doesn't actually care about Jews. He doesn't even care that he has family. I don't think any of that matters. He's selfish. But his strongest fan base are Christian nationalists, Nazis, and all that. And then so some of them, even though they're Christian nationalists, they're because of Jesus. They're all about the Holy Land, and they think Israel has to be there because Armageddon and Gog and Magog attack or whatever. Anyways.
Yep. Yeah, it's 100%.
Right.
It's an end of days cult.
So my point is, and I don't think Donald Trump actually believes in Christianity.
No, but he placates them, right? Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying he uses it, but that doesn't mean he's not dangerous. Because he doesn't share that. Let's just say, I think he's a racist, but I think he's more like a Nazi, although he's not committed enough to read and become a Nazi or follow enough to become a Nazi. Right. He just thinks like those trash pieces of garbage, dog shit thinkers.
Yeah, that's right.
So he does do that. And then he also likes copying them because of the other thing. He is a fucking fake and a con man. So he has no natural ability to actually manipulate people. He goes and he reads what would Hitler say and goes, oh, I'll try to say it like that.
Yeah.
He's a fucking copycat. Anyways, but that doesn't mean he's not dangerous. I see him as extremely dangerous. Holy living fuck. He wants to say, I think America's bad now. It's fucking trash, garbage. Trump wants to make it a dictatorship. That is literally going to be worse. I don't care whatever you think it is now, it'll be fucking worse.
Yeah.
Because, and like I said, just the fact how, and it's not that Biden in his past has not absolutely been openly racist, because he fucking has. Like when he said that the School Act was going to make his children live in a racial jungle. Racist shit right there. Vile.
Yeah.
So, but he is currently trying to, like I always say with the Democrats, pander to stuff where the other people are literally fucking fascists that want to fucking, Christian nationalism and So let's go to the reason I'm just bringing that up is there's a lot of these motivations that I think aren't addressed. Like, would Donald Trump be better for Israel or Biden? Here's the real truth. America doesn't give a fuck what any of those in a sense, leaders think. They have committed to the project of Israel.
Yeah.
That's how I would try to say. Because to me, actually, my wife told me this, so it's not mine, but she says, Damien, to me, it sounds like you're explaining that they're just the military arm of the U.S. government in the Middle East. Mm-hmm. And I go, so it's like a military base for America. That's what Israel is. The country is literally like a military base for the United States. Yeah. I went, wow. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Since we literally fund them every year, and just think, they get attacked, right, by a small group of people, 1,000, 3,000, whatever, 5,000 people. Their military is way bigger than that. They literally went in and dumbfounded the whole area, right? North Gaza is all trashed. They don't need help. It's like, we gotta get them weapons. For what? More genocide? What the living fuck?
Yeah, they've already annihilated. Yeah, they've already killed so many more people than were killed in by Hamas.
Right, it's 20 times the fucking.
Yeah, at what point do you draw the line and say okay, we've given them too many weapons now, we're done?
I would have already done that long time
for
ago.
Sure.
No, probably the fucking second day.
Yeah,
what the fuck? Right. You're done. That's it. Holy fucking shit. What? I thought you're going to go in with sniper teams. You went in with fucking 4,000-pound bombs or something. You know, or 2,000 pound, whatever that. I don't know, by the way, so I'm not claiming to know what fucking pound is. All I'm saying is,
don't at me.
How about this? Yeah, exactly. Well, because I don't want to be taken up for things I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Indiscriminate bombing. How about that? Blowing up the whole fucking area practically. And fucking killing people, hitting fucking. I like when they go, oh, well, we hit a hospital. Yeah, but there was some Hamas there. I'm like, imagine if that was the attitude in America, right? There's 15, people in a hospital. Let's just blow up fucking the 4,000 people in the hospital. We'll kill the 15 dudes. I mean, that's okay with you? And or they go, it was unfortunate. No, it's the same thing like when Trump says that shit, racist shit. I just want to punch people in the fucking face. So the feeling, I'm not doing that, and I don't support that at all. But I'm just saying, feel like so fucking mad. Like, what?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Or how about this? Like with the Israel. We have to inform you that we killed 3 of our own hostages. They had white flags. And they had writing in Hebrew with their own blood saying, we're not Hamas. They had their shirts off to make sure that the people could see they had no bombs. And they shot all 3 dead.
Of course. Yeah.
Even worse to me is they didn't say, well, those people are going to be charged. They go like this. Well, you have to understand. They had been shot out all day. So, I mean, this reminds me of cops, right? Like America.
Yeah.
Well, he's really scared. I'm like,
so he gets to kill innocent people because he's a fucking coward.
Yeah. It's just
like, fuck you.
So I can just walk down the street. If I'm scared, I can just kill people. I mean, it's just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's fucking nonsense.
I wouldn't be here, Corey. I scare a lot of people. So
yeah.
I would be fucking dead. Although I've also, as I've said before, some people like they go, well, I got this one person recently on Twitter or whatever, and he says in Denmark, being an atheist is no big deal, so he doesn't understand, as much why America makes a big deal. And I go, well, for here it's a big deal. They're literally trying to take away our fucking human rights. Religious people,
that's right.
Okay, theists, and not that they don't try to take up other theists, because of course the one that's in power now in America is the Christian bullshit. So it's not like they're trying to just do atheists. They are indiscriminate haters. They will all of you.
They have no tolerance for anybody. So
it's like fuck.
Yeah.
So but it doesn't have to be that way, in a just society. But we don't live in one of those. So okay, let's move along. Let's go to the blog, The War Crimes of Israel, acting like a terrorist state would.
All right.
And the first thing you see is about art I made trying to emphasize this issue.
Yeah.
Corey's like, I don't like your art, Damien. No. Anyway.
But I mean, if one is inclined for art, I mean, this tells a story in this picture. So like you can see the devastation, you can see the message of it. Right. It's pretty plain. Like you can see it.
Right. Make him crying and the blood dripping on him. Kid.
Yeah. It tells a story for sure.
Yeah. That's actually sort of a real picture that I kind of, ad-libbed on.
Okay.
So there's actually 2 pictures. I put 2 pictures together. One is of the building, sort of the background, but it was other stuff. And the other one was a person holding a kid that almost looks exactly like that.
Okay.
But yeah, because a lot of times, like you see a lot of my pictures, I put references because I want people to know where I get stuff, because I'm not trying to,
right.
And also, I want people to understand that I'm not talking out of my ass. But I just don't, or that I draw art and it's just fantasy land or something, because a lot of my art is really complicated and it says all kinds of stuff, and so it needs a lot of references.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So this one obviously didn't need as much, but it's still, I wanted to give the reference that this is actual pictures. I didn't make this up. In other words, I didn't do like Israel seems to like to do, and some, the Palestinians sometimes do, but put up fake shit. This is not fake. Anyways, let's move along.
Okay.
So go ahead and read Michelle's things.
Sure. She says, I've been asked more than once why I don't speak up about what's going on in Palestine. Well, here's my position. Too many innocents have been killed there. 20,000 versus 1,600 in Israel. Israel needs to take another course of action. Genocide is never the answer. Never.
Yeah, I freaking agree.
Yeah.
Anyways, then I go ahead and read what I wrote under that. That this is just my thoughts, not related to what she said. Just
Human rights are not gifts of governments. Rather, they are due to all equally, as all are born free in rights and dignity.
And what is your feeling on that?
I think that, yeah, I mean, that's the idea, is that everyone is supposed to be free and equal and have the right to exist.
Right.
And it's unfortunate that we live in a world that doesn't agree with that.
Well, and I feel like constantly, especially on the news, that they project that, although it did get better, by the way, but it took a long time, way too long, but it did happen. Then I go to Biden. It still didn't happen. Even the fucking bias ass news is not with you, Biden.
Yeah.
You've lost the news, dude.
The pro-U.S. empire news.
You lost the U.S. empire news. They're calling you out, dude. I was like, wow, this is like, I'm actually enjoying the news a little bit.
Right.
You know, but it's so I'm just saying to show how ridiculous it is for Biden to still act like his head's in the clouds, where he goes, not only is he not helping them, right? No, he's helping them. If you're like, oh, he's not actually doing it. Literally, he forced through an emergency weapons of $1 billion or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. But weapons to Israel. Yeah, because they're running low. Oh, I'm sorry. They need more fucking bombs.
They're running low on weapons to kill innocent people for.
I'm like, yeah. Anyways, let's yeah. Let's read. So I want you to read this first part.
Okay.
And then just read the first after that to 1948. Just read that. This those 2 paragraphs. And I want to go because that's the older ones. I don't want. There's a lot. By the way, go ahead. All these blogs that I'm attaching, it would be beneficial to just read all of them.
Yeah.
In their entirety, and because then you would. But we're gonna jump around, and so I want you to just read sort of the beginning, and then we'll go down to current because I want to talk about what they're fucking currently doing, not regurgitate every single war crime, which there's a lot, by the way, from the beginning. Because here's the point. It's not that now currently they're being a terrorist state. They always have been. So
yeah, that's right. So Israeli war crimes are violations of international criminal law, including war crimes and crimes against humanity, which the Israel Defense Forces, the military branch of the State of Israel, has been accused of committing since the founding of Israel in 1948. These have included murder, intentional targeting of civilians, killing prisoners of war and surrendered combatants, indiscriminate attacks, collective punishment, starvation of civilians, the use of human shields, torture, pillage, forced transfer, breach of medical neutrality, targeting journalists, attacks against civilian and protected objects, wanton destruction, and incitement of genocide.
Right. So pause for a second. Does that sound like I am going too far hard on them by calling them a terrorist state? Come on.
No. I think that perfectly describes it.
Yeah. So because I want people to understand. Like I said, I condemn all terrorism. That's why Hamas is condemned by me, and so the fuck is Israel. And like I said, let's not lead out our friends, America, and every other fucking country. But fucking war crimes. And what's so crazy is war crimes could happen in America, and the whole world just kind of goes, man. It's kind of like what they say about Saudi Arabia too. Killed the fucking journalist or whatever it was. No big deal. Everyone's kind of moves on. Okay. America, same way. They could fucking do that same shit. Like Trump said, just kill someone in Fifth Avenue. America, well, we had to. Sorry. Or it was a mistake. We'll try harder next time.
Right.
Fucking bullshit. Yeah, next time. You mean like throughout the whole history of America? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why I hate too when people, especially like when presidents are like, oh, we've had 200 years of liberty, justice, and freedom. Makes me so proud of America. And I'm like, man, every word was garbage. That was just
like there's a select few people that got 200 years of liberty and freedom and privilege and but no, it doesn't apply to everybody for sure.
Yeah, and it's not like I all my shows I harp on America. Just since we're talking about fucked up shit, I'm not going to be silent on fucked up shit.
Yeah, because I mean, this is the show to do it. For sure, right?
If I don't do it here, I told you I do want to do a show about America generally, how fucked up it is. Because the one reason, in fact, that's actually what I was thinking about doing it, and then the Israeli stuff happened. Because what I was thinking about doing is how fucking pissed I am at all these people that are in South America and you know, trying to get asylum and not being let in the country. It's fucking gross, especially since America has almost attacked or been in a sort of military engagement in almost every country in fucking South America and shit. Central America, Mexico. What the fuck?
I find something similar here. Like, it's not from South America necessarily, but like we have a lot of like people who are really anti-immigrant, but they've never interacted with the immigration system at all. So like they believe that Justin Trudeau is personally bringing over a whole bunch of immigrants and giving them free room and board and hotels and like amazing meals at fancy restaurants. And you go, no, that is not how this works at all. Like, what do you think is happening?
I do think they should get free meals. So, I mean,
yes, I do.
My personal opinion. Yeah. Here's the thing too. If people are like, oh, I'm being too hard on Biden, right? I'm sure the Democrats are just hating my ass.
No, probably. Eh?
Here's the thing. You don't think that he can do anything about the war, right? Because here's something he could do. He could sign that everyone from Palestine who wants to leave and come to America has free passage.
Yeah.
Right? And citizenship. Right? Solve the problem. Right? If you care but want the war to keep going, the good solution would America would just welcome all of them. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. All 2.5 million, whatever, can all come to America. I'm totally cool with it. I mean, right? If you think Israel owns that land, some of the people that think Israel should get the whole thing, whatever,
right?
Then if you feel that way and you're an American, then I'm so glad that you're going to welcome in every one of the Palestinians to be citizens. Yeah. Every one of them. I do.
But of course not. But of course they wouldn't do that.
And once again, why would we try solutions that are humanitarian? We like war. No, I got bombs for you, not free rides, right? Because we can certainly, for $1.5 million, can't we fly like everybody over here?
Yep. Yeah. Nonsense.
But it also, like, besides being angry all the time, which I am a lot, it also, I wanted to acknowledge too, it hurts. I've cried. It fucking hurts. Because I understand what humanitarian could be better, and all the excuses are just they're gross. Sorry, but it just is
for sure
gross. People make excuses for it's just it. Anyways, let's keep going.
Okay. So Israel ratified the Geneva Conventions on July 6, 1951, and on January 2nd, 2015, the state of Palestine acceded to the Rome Statute, granting the International Criminal Court, ICC, jurisdiction over war crimes committed in the occupied Palestinian territories, OPT. Human rights experts argue that the actions taken by the IDF during armed conflicts in the OPT fall under the rubric of war crimes. Special rapporteurs from the United Nations, organizations including Human Rights Watch, Médecins Sans Frontières, it's supposed to be French, I think, but Amnesty International and human rights experts have accused Israel of war crimes. Since 2006, the Human Rights Council has mandated several fact-finding missions into violations of international law, including war crimes in the OPT. And in May of 2021, established a permanent ongoing inquiry. Since 2021, the ICC has had an active investigation into Israeli war crimes committed in the OPT. Israel has refused to cooperate with the investigations.
Right. So just like America, it's big brother. It does not want to cooperate with investigations that investigate war crimes. Yeah. Because
you're saying that we commit war crimes, therefore we don't acknowledge your authority.
It works.
Yep.
Yeah. But it just shows how unethical it is, right? Literally, if America or any other country doesn't want to have war crimes, investigated, you are the problem. You are.
That's right.
You must be a war crime country if you're against war crimes being investigated. I mean, what the fuck? This actually, I have a meme that says, if you were taken to court, could you be found guilty of a life lived in love? And the point of that is to make you ponder, are the actions of your life, would other people agree that it was loving? Could you be found guilty of it? And so that, in a sense, just to give you an idea, that's how I told you before, like being an anarcho-humanist, that's what I try to live my life in a way that's ethical and understanding and caring, that it's noticeable difference.
Yeah.
It's not like everyone's like, well, I didn't even know that you. No, everyone knows. That's the way it should be, right?
Yeah.
Seriously, that's the way it should be. You should be a shining light to the world because your behavior is so ethical. And that's why, too, I have a real problem when they try to put down anarchism. I told you, because it really pisses me down. Anarchism is literally, at least mine is ethical. So, and to say like give it up or to stop, caring, or it won't. So human rights don't matter, and caring about people and valuing the whole world is somehow wrong. Come on, no.
Yeah,
no. So go ahead and read this first part. So we're just going to read the beginning of Israel, how it started in terror, and then we're going to read down.
All right. So the 1948 Arab-Israeli War. So between 10 and 70 massacres occurred during the 1948 war. According to Benny Morris, the Yishuv, or later Israeli, soldiers killed roughly 800 Arab civilians and prisoners of war in 24 massacres. Ariya Yeztaki lists 10 major massacres with more than 50 victims each. Palestinian researcher Salman Abu Sitta lists 33 massacres, half of them occurring during the Civil War period. Saleh Abdel Jawad lists 68 villages in which the indiscriminate killing of prisoners and civilians took place while no threat was posed to Yishuv or Israeli soldiers. According to Rosemarie Esper, both Israeli archives and Palestinian testimonies confirm killings occurred in numerous Arab villages.
Right. So we're not strawmanning Israel as being bad or America being bad because we just are communists and don't like, No, they're literally bad.
Yeah.
If they were communists and did the same shit, guess what I would say? Bad.
Bad. No.
Okay. Right. Once again, like I said, it's axiological. So to me, it's about what is good, period. Not who's doing it. That doesn't somehow make it not good or good.
Right.
No.
So most of these killings occurred as villages were overrun and captured during the second phase of the Civil War, Operation Dani, Operation Hiram, and Operation Yoav. Morris said that the worst cases were the Saliha massacre with 60 to 70 killed, the Deir Yassin massacre with around 112, the Lida massacre with around 250, and the Abu Shusha massacre with 60 to 70. In Al-Dawaima, accounts of the death toll vary. Saleh Abd al-Jawad reports 100 to 200 casualties. Morris had estimated hundreds and also reports the IDF investigation, which concluded 100 villagers had been killed. David Ben Gurion gave the figure of 70 to 80. Saleh Abd al-Jawad reports on the village's Mukhtar account that 455 people were missing following the Al-Dawaima massacre, including 170 women and children.
Right, yeah. Killing women and children is bad, whether it's Israel doing it or Hamas doing it.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, killing women and children is bad. Killing people, period, is bad. So let's go down and let's just actually go ahead and just read the titles of the things until we get down to the bottom.
Sure. So there's the Suez Crisis, the 6-Day War, the 1982 Lebanon War, the First Intifada, the Second Intifada, the 2006 Lebanon War, 2008-2009 Gaza War.
You see there's a lot on that.
There's a lot on that, yeah.
Yeah.
2014 Gaza War. Jesus.
Still going. A lot on that, too. A lot of crimes. By the way, all those stuff is all crimes.
Right.
Sad we can't read all of this, but for time.
Just so much. Yeah.
Because not because we want to make it somehow, straw man that Israel's a terrorist state. It's just that it would be nice if we had time to really explain so you could It's like I always say, I don't want you to believe me. I want you to understand.
Mm-hmm. So then there's also the 2018-2019 Gaza border protests, and then the 2021 Israel-Palestine crisis, and then now we've got the Israel
So then go ahead and read all of that.
Okay, 2023 Israel-Hamas war. Numerous allegations of war crimes were levied against Israel for its actions against civilians during its 2023 war with Hamas. The UN Independent International Commission of Inquiry on the Occupied Palestinian Territory stated there was already clear evidence of war crimes and would share evidence with judicial authorities, including the International Criminal Court's authorities currently investigating war crimes committed in the occupied territories. Critics argue that the Biden administration of the United States gave tacit approval to Israeli war crimes. So this section is called collective punishment. Several actions.
It's putting the war crimes in like order or whatever.
Right.
Into groups. That's just not order.
Yeah. So several actions taken by the Israeli army were characterized as collective punishment, a war crime prohibited by treaty in both international and non-international armed conflicts, more specifically Common Article 3 of the Geneva Conventions and Article 6 of the Additional Protocol to Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders International President Christos Christou said millions of civilians in Gaza faced collective punishment due to Israel's blockade on fuel and medicine. A group of United Nations special rapporteurs termed Israeli airstrikes on Gaza a form of collective punishment. What the hell is going on?
And why I think it's important to understand these different things is so you can, instead of just saying like a blanket war crimes, you can understand what the war crime was, which is important because if you're going to, in a sense, at least to me, online, instead of pushing a bunch of crap, about this or that, we should be addressing the shit that matters, like the war crimes. And if people don't understand them, explain them, write out each one, and put. That's to me way more because it's actually real. Because they don't want to come and address these actual claims. They want to just try to blanket shit and you did it too and this and that, yeah. Or you did it enough that now I don't have to care. Now I can just kill indiscriminately because somehow human rights are gone.
Yeah. Right, eh?
Wrong. But like I said, to me, that's why I feel like it is part of our anarchism to teach people how to live in an anarchist society. In an anarchist society, we don't fucking do war as the way to solve the fucking problems.
No, that's right.
Let's say we had to go to war, Corey. Does that mean that we're going to send all of our money just to war and then the rest of and make sure billionaires are doing well? Or should we, like, if you're going to give money for, let's make sure everyone's doing well. How about that?
Yeah.
Well, I feel too that, like I said about going back to Mexico or South America, America owes these people a safe place since they fucking terrorized their lands.
Right.
Seriously. And doing stuff that's anti-democratic down there. Like I said, making sure that no socialists ever win. And if they do, to try to back the right-wing, dictator rebels.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not about fucking democracy. It's about America's power.
Yep.
Like I said, if we're going to do that, I don't know. The least we can do is help the people that are suffering under what we fucking made sure happened.
Yeah, no, it seems like caring about the people is contrary to the entire American project.
That I agree with. That the lie is that we care. The truth is we've never have.
Yeah.
That's the real truth. Yeah. It's just about power.
Yeah.
And about capitalists, and they just want money. So it's money and power. Oh, yeah. The two problems I fucking hate. Both. I hate fucking power. I would. That's like I said. What was if I had to change almost nothing, but to just change something in the American system, I would get first. I'd be direct democracy, but also no fucking leaders. Done. Zero. None. Nothing should be done with one person. Ever. Never. Never.
Yeah. That's done. Because no one person should ever have the authority to make decisions.
Ever. Yeah. Never. Ever. Not even a few people. Never. Ever.
No, that's right.
But I know that's I guess, my stubborn anarchist side that just goes,
yeah, like it's so
fuck
weird
that.
to me that people who believe in quote unquote democracy don't see the flaws in like a representative, a quote unquote representative democracy,
Which doesn't even do that. Because like I
which
told
doesn't
you,
actually, yeah,
they did a study and it was like 3% or 5% or something. They said it was basically non-existent. That what Congress does for America is the regular people is almost literally nothing.
yeah,
That nothing we want gets done. Nothing. So to think that's a representative, it's insane. Serious. I mean, and then all the people, what do they do? Their great hope is a president, which I also find really gross too, because I hate worshiping people. So it's not just that they have a president; they worship them like literal kings.
yeah,
It's
and
fucking gross.
I mean, I even think of like the 2020 election and like the idea was supposed to be that if Joe Biden won, then all of the people who voted for him, they weren't like uh acolytes. They weren't like just blind followers. They were supposed to hold him to account and like make him accountable for the things he did. And then every time you criticize him, those same people that said that they would hold his feet to the fire and hold him to account, they absolutely refuse to acknowledge any fault that Biden has done. Like it's a what
True, but they do that in general.
Yes.
They do it in general. They don't like any of that because their point is if you show any flaws, they will lose the vote, and so they won't get in. Because they didn't like that. Even though some people know, I voted for Joe Biden not because I give a fuck about Joe Biden. I fucking hate Trump. Hate that piece of fucking human garbage.
Yeah,
is the way his thinking and behavior is yeah. That doesn't mean I like Biden. And I had posted that, and I told people, yeah, I'll probably vote for Biden, not because I give a fuck about Biden, because I fucking hate Trump. Yeah. But I said, and I posted this one thing. I said, but I'm going to tell the fucking truth that I did way at the beginning and piss people off. I showed pictures of all the creepy things he does. Would you ever let that fucking Biden by your children? Never. Dude, come on.
No, thank you.
How creepy he is?
Thank you.
He's all like smothering them, touching their hair and shit.
Yeah.
But of course, then there's the rapist in chief, right? Fucking Donald Trump, who literally is fucking, sexually assaulted and raped fucking women.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, as I told you, so sucks in America, like piece of garbage, scum, or a real fucking evil bastard. Like, God, man, that's my fucking choices.
Yeah.
How is it?
Yeah.
But like you said, then they get mad when I say I'll vote for him again, probably. And guess what? I can still hate the fuck out of him. Don't you get it? I do not like Biden. That is, if I vote for Biden again, it will not be because I fucking like Biden. I don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'm not blind to what kind of a person he really is. And he's the liar in chief because he says that he's for the working people. And then he just let the rail strike, he union busted.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, you literally can't be a class
Joe
traitor.
Biden is not is not a comrade. Like, he is not on our side.
No. And then just one photo op for one union. One union.
That's right. Yeah.
And fucking, of course, the acolytes. Oh, my God. Look how wonderful he is. He went to one union. Oh, he picks and chooses the unions he likes. What a scumbag.
It's almost like he's doing out of like some kind of political cynicism or political expediency rather than actually because he gives a fuck about workers.
Right. But all that was hideous and terrible about Biden. A bunch of other stuff too. But yeah, look like the crime bill. What the fuck? Piece of shit. Yeah. Anyways, or how about Anita Hill? Oh, piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do they talk about it's all in Biden's past? Well, currently
he's the same guy. He's the same guy who
but even if so, Corey, let's give him that. Okay. Let's assume his whole thing is white clean. I hate him currently as a scumbag because he just sent more weapons to the country. He literally told stop doing it against and then gives more weapons.
Yeah.
You're a scumbag. Fuck you. What the fuck?
Yeah.
No. So I'm just saying, even if they think everything's wrong, no, he's currently doing it. Just like Israel. if Israel acted like a humane country, which they're not, they
Right.
never have. Just like I was telling you about them being rich, right? They're really rich, right? And we should give them money, and they have like free healthcare stuff. Yet they still have fucking people poor in the streets. They have a massive. They it's like I can't remember now, but at least
like in Israel, like itself, they have like.
I'm saying in Israel, they do not take care of their people. That's what I'm saying. I was shocked. They have worse poverty than in the United States. And yet they're a rich country, and they get extra money from the United States. Yeah. And supposedly, everyone thinks that there's this cabal where Jews take care of each other. Not in Israel, where they literally have people fucking hungry and then not being fed and not homeless, housed and shit. Oh, that doesn't sound like they're fucking caring about the Jews to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Let's ask some of the victims who had their family, kidnapped. Did they think that Israel's government is supporting them? It doesn't say. I've heard a lot of them come on like crying. They're mad. Anyways, let's go back to the thing.
Sure.
There's a lot to get angry at.
Yeah. So the UN special rapporteurs termed Israel airstrikes on Gaza as a form of collective punishment, stating the airstrikes are absolutely prohibited under the international law and amounts to a war crime.
I agree, by the way, totally.
Yeah.
As we talked about. So just so you know, I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Who's disagreeing with this? Like, come on.
Yeah. In fact, Israel's President Isaac Herzog accused the residents of Gaza of collective responsibility for the war. In response to accusations of collective punishment, Israel Katz, the Israeli Minister of Energy, wrote, "Indeed, Madam Congresswoman, we have to draw a line. They will not receive a drop of water or a single battery until they leave the world." Mm-hmm. So the next section is blockade. And on October 9th, 2023, Israel's defense minister, Yoav Gallant, announced a complete siege on Gaza, which involved cutting off essential supplies like electricity, food, water, and gas. This tactic raised concerns about violations of the laws of war since civilians were being denied basic necessities. The United Nations warned that any siege endangering civilian lives by depriving them of essential goods was prohibited under the international humanitarian law. Tom Dannenbaum, an expert on siege law at Tufts University, described Israel's outspoken policy of total blockade and deprivation as an abnormally clear-cut instance of starving civilians as a means of war, an unambiguous violation of human rights. The starvation of civilians, including through the denial of relief supplies, is a war crime.
Exactly. And who in the fuck can justify that it wouldn't be? Yep. It is literally gross. They go, well, and I hate the TV, like, Israel puppets that come out and they say nonsense. Oh, well, we're trying to get, stuff in there. You're literally not.
Yeah.
Quit fucking lying.
Yeah, that's just a lie. Next section is water access. As part of Israel's blockade on Gaza, all access to water was shut off. Article 51 of the Berlin Rules on Water Resources.
Pause for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's think. Where could you justify shutting off water? This is hold on. Even if you said Hamas was going to get water, and water, what the fuck? Water, like, come on.
Yeah.
Or especially civilians, like I said, if that was in Canada, would that be okay to just shut off a whole area's water because there's a few gang problems? I mean, you see, when you think about it logically, it's like, the answer, like the rape answer, is there just rape? No.
The answer is no. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there just removing water rights from people? What the fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Ridiculous.
So I'm just saying that I don't. That's all I was trying to say is, if we're going to attack online, I feel like it would be better just to put the fucking facts out there. You don't need to it's terrible. You don't need to make racist or whatever the fuck shit. It is already literally ethically wrong as fuck. And the moral high ground, why would you step off of it?
Yeah.
you're fucking already there. The shit is wrong. If you don't know it's wrong, read it again and then think about ethics in any other situation.
And actually, like you say, like there's if people aren't convinced by the actual facts of Israel's crimes against the people of Gaza, Palestinian people, then you're never going to convince them by talking about colonization or indigenous people or you're never you're never going to be like, I mean, it's hard enough to get anybody to even acknowledge that Israel is committing these crimes. So it's, I don't know.
But like I said, even true, although I told you, I'm starting to hear them openly say shit on the fucking news, although it obviously still doesn't matter because the government's like, yeah, did you think we didn't know when the people said it? I mean,
right.
This also, to me, like I told you, every time Biden acts like he's clueless, it's some bullshit. They literally give you the best fucking intel in the world.
Yeah, that's right.
So every time these fuckers are like, well, I don't really... Lying! Fucking lying. Because you know what? If you wanted to know, let's say you didn't know. Let's assume the truth. You know, except, like I would say, buy with their son. Oh, let's assume that he doesn't know. He's actually ignorant. You know how long it would take him to be not ignorant? About 15 minutes. Because he would just call up and go, hey, I'd like to know this. And they would send someone down and they would fucking inform him. Right. So he's a scumbag and just get over it. Even if I have to vote for him, he is a fucking scumbag. Like I said, let's say the truth about the truth. Like I said, even if I like anarchists, there's anarchists I like. There's McCall Balkan or whatever.
Mikhail Bakunin.
Yeah, names. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
But anyways, but I found out. I thought, well, he's the greatest anarchist there is, and then I found out, oh, he was an anti-Semite. What?
Yeah, he's not always good.
And then I thought same thing with Pierre Pardin or whatever his name. I thought, oh, he's got some really good ideas. You know, I don't agree with all of them, but then sexist. What the fuck? Yeah. So to me,
not good.
Why is that, Corey? What is it? How did people? Which I said the same thing about atheists. How do atheists not realize capitalism is also bullshit? You can see that the con of religion, but you can't see the con of capitalism.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I used to it's a little bit off topic, but I used to get into debates about feminism with atheists because they could always see the privilege of the religious, right? Like they could look at it and they could go, oh, well, they've got all these benefits and all the way society treats you. And you go, okay, but now apply that to the man-woman dichotomy, right? Like society treats women in the way that it treats atheists, and it gives men privileges in the way that it.
I agree. Which should be an easy. Corey, it's because they don't want. It's like they learned denial. Yeah, it's like you can fall back and learn denial. That no, we don't have to. America's great. America's great. Men are great. You know. People could give men such a hard time.
There's no patriarchy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. You don't need that shit now. Unions, we don't need those now. Your boss loves to do good for you. Oh,
yeah, that's right.
That's why they're constantly union busting, because they don't care about, right.
Yeah. That's why when inflation comes and I don't get a raise for 5 years, like that's totally fine.
And you have dumb fucks on the news say, oh, well, actually, because I know this one news lady goes, yeah, well, inflation may be coming down, but an economy may be doing good, but people aren't feeling it. In the stores, the prices are too high. And then the lady goes, oh, wait a minute. You don't want the prices to come down because then we would have deflation. And I thought, look at this bullshit. What the fuck? Yes, you want the prices to come down. What the fuck? Oh, how about also like they go, oh, well, things are getting better because there's a cooling on wages. They're coming down. See, they like that.
Wages coming down. That
a good thing?
Right.
Only if you're a fucking elite does wages coming down sound like a good thing.
Well, and that's how we know that the news and like all these pundits and shit, that's how we know they work for the owning class, right? They don't work for us. They don't give us the news that matters to us. They don't give a shit. They want to promote whatever the fucking elites want.
But even if they do, it's laughed off. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
or it's like, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. The lady says that it should come down, and the other person, oh, no, you don't want that. Then we have deflation. And it's good that the economy is cooling down, that wages are going back down. What? Who the fuck are you talking to?
So you think it's good that people can't afford to buy food? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's good that people can't eat.
Yeah, no, that's like, to me, they go, what do you think? Should it be $15 for the minimum wage? I go, how about 30?
Should be at least 30 now.
Right?
Yeah.
$30. Maybe $40. If $30 maybe too, but certainly 30 is a good fucking start.
Yeah.
Not
I honestly don't know how people make less than $30 an hour and survive. Like, it makes no sense.
It should be ethical. And then people go, well, but if I pay $30, my business will go under. And I go, okay.
So be it.
If your business cannot
capitalism,
be ethical,
right?
Here's a clue: it shouldn't exist to me. How about that?
If that's the myth of the free market too, right? Like if there was a free market, then I could sell my labor at a high wage, and everybody would be on that level.
Well,
right?
you mean
because
it would be
the price would keep going up.
Well, no, and look, a leftist free market or something.
Yeah, that's right.
That shit ain't never gonna happen. I also, one day capitalism will be ethical. It never.
It can't.
Ever will. It never. I'll make a prediction. It never fucking will. How about that? Yeah. Never. Because it's literally against its own best interests.
Yeah.
Which is
it cannot do it.
Profit. Another thing that you always know too is that they always want it to be constantly growing wealth. It's got to, the economy has to keep growing. It's starting to stagnate. How is that? Why is that bad? What? But only because it's all about wealth for them. But anyways, let's get off of that because I can go crazy on that shit.
Yeah, that's right. So where were we?
On children. Yeah. Okay. Let's see how many people want to defend that's okay. But go ahead and read.
Right. Children were disproportionately impacted by Israel's attack on Gaza. On 13th November, UNICEF stated that more than 700,000 children in Gaza were displaced. The Palestine Red Crescent Society stated displaced children were suffering due to power outages, lack of basic essentials, and scenes of pain and fear. Catherine M. Russell. Oh, yep.
Oh, sorry. Just pause it. Like you said about things. Do you really need to be... We can read more, but do you really need to be explained why displacing 700,000 children is a problem?
Right.
It's, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, as I said, axiologically, what? You need to go on? 700,000 children? Of course that's bad. What the? Yeah. How about this? Have you ever been not housed? It's not a great thing.
Yeah.
700,000 not housed. This is tragic. This is horrid.
Yeah, it's terrible. Catherine M. Russell, the executive director of UNICEF, toured Gaza on the 15th of November, stating many children were buried under rubble and lacking medical care. Dr. Ahmad Al-Farah, the head of pediatrics at Nasser Medical Complex in Khan Yunis, stated due to the lack of clean water, he was witnessing, quote unquote, the most serious epidemic of gastroenteritis among children he had ever seen. UNICEF spokesperson Toby Fricker stated, "There is no safe place for children anywhere across the strip right now. Save the Children reported serious signs of mental health issues among children in Gaza."
How could we not care, Corey?
Yeah.
Fucking children. What kind of a heartless piece of garbage cannot care about children? I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're on to forcible transfer. On October 13th, 2023, the Israeli army ordered the evacuation of 1.1 million people from North Gaza. The evacuation order was characterized as a forcible transfer by Jan Egeland, the Norwegian former diplomat involved with the Oslo Accord. A forcible transfer is the forced relocation of a civilian population as part of an organized offense against it and is considered a crime against humanity by the International Criminal Court.
So a crime against humanity. But America gave more bombs. So people are like, well, why, Damien, why do you feel like Biden's a scumbag? He literally gave more weapons to do that.
Yeah.
A crime against humanity. How could anyone be okay with that?
Yeah. No, it's
Scumbag
terrible.
is the least he can be called. Trust me.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking terrorist. Helping, assisting war criminals. How about that? If you don't like the scumbag.
Yeah, if you're not if you don't like him being called that, but
yeah, because I just called him a scumbag last time, and that someone commented on our video that, well, I agree with everything you said except about Biden. Well, you're wrong.
Well, you're wrong then.
You're wrong, but I hear you don't like that, but you are wrong.
Fuck's sakes.
If your answer to children being, bombed and all this war crimes is it is okay to send them more weapons to do more war crimes, literally fund the genocide, and you think I have a problem calling him a scumbag,
yeah,
you should call him a scumbag. Everyone should call him a scumbag.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's a scumbag move, right? Like it
literally is. It's like someone's raping you and he like makes sure that they're protected or something. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No. It's gross. It's terrible. It's evil. It's vile.
Yeah. Somebody's committing a crime against you and he hands them a gun and says, Here,
you should kill him instead. Or oh, you looks like you're running out of bullets, Corey. Here's another magazine.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you explain? I mean, literally, what the fuck?
Yeah. In an interview with the BBC, Egeland stated, there are hundreds of thousands of people fleeing for their life. That is not something that should be called an evacuation. It is a forcible transfer of people from all of northern Gaza, which according to the Geneva Convention is a war crime.
Right, and let's just think about that for a second. So, if I threaten to kill you unless you leave, isn't that fucking terrorism?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're the nice guys. We told them to go ahead and leave. Yeah, you told 1.5 million people to fucking leave or they'll be killed.
Yeah, exactly.
That literally is you are a piece of shit.
Yeah. The UN Special Rapporteur, Francesca Albanese, warned of mass ethnic cleansing in Gaza. Raz Segal, an Israeli historian and director of the Holocaust and Genocide Studies program at Stockton University, termed it a textbook case of genocide. Israeli air...
We're going to go through these different ones because people need to know, it's like I said, it's not one war crime. We can just keep listing the different war crimes.
Yeah, there's lots of them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah, for sure.
But certainly all these are just showing why we absolutely should be calling out what the fucking is going on.
Yep, absolutely. On October 12th, 2023, Human Rights Watch said the Israeli army had used white phosphorus munitions in Gaza. The IDF said this allegation was unequivocally false. White phosphorus burns upon contact, can cause deep and severe injuries, potentially leading to multiple organ failure, and even minor burns can be fatal. According to Human Rights Watch, the use of phosphorus is unlawfully indiscriminate. No. Yeah. Oh. Lost my place. Unlawfully indiscriminate when airburst in populated urban areas, where it can burn down houses and cause egregious harm to civilians, and violates the requirement under international humanitarian law to take all feasible precautions to avoid civilian injury and loss of life. According to Amnesty International Weapons Investigation, Brian Kastner, whether this constitutes a war crime depends on the intended target of this attack and the intended use. Its use is considered an incendiary weapon, which are banned under international law in areas with high population density. Gaza is one of the most densely populated areas in the world, and nearly half of the population are children.
Right, so a war crime, just in case people were, feeling, unsure about it.
Right, yeah. Amnesty International reported that the IDF fired white phosphorus shells into the populated town of Dara, Lebanon, on October 16th. hospitalizing 9 civilians and setting fire to civilian objects. Aya Majzoub, the Deputy Regional Director for the Middle East and North Africa at Amnesty International, described the attack as a violation of international law that needed to be investigated as a war crime, and that it seriously endangered the lives of civilians, many of whom were hospitalized and displaced, and whose homes and cars caught fire. Yeah.
Not good, man. But just imagine how many the people go, oh, well, we're just defending ourselves. Oh, yeah, that's no, come on now.
At what point does it become clear that that's not what's happening?
That's a lie.
Yeah. Indiscriminate attacks. The United Nations announced Israeli air operations had targeted residential towers, buildings, schools, and UNRWA premises, resulting in thousands of civilian casualties in Gaza. Human rights experts described Israel's indiscriminate airstrikes as a war crime, an accusation that Israel has denied, because fuck them. UNRWA called on Israel to not bomb 270,000 sheltered Palestinians, stressing that international law forbids their targeting. The IDF said it was controlling attacks to provide a safe evacuation path. IDF spokesperson Daniel Hagari stated that the emphasis is on damage and not on accuracy.
But accuracy would be the, I don't know, ethical thing?
Yeah, that's right. If you're just focusing on the damage, then you're indiscriminately killing people.
Which means you're literally admitting, yes, we're just killing people.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. How are you supporting that? And why in the fuck are we sending more fucking weapons?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So the Al-Shati refugee camp airstrike. On October 9th, the IDF carried out an airstrike on the densely populated Al-Shati refugee camp. Palestinian media reported that this strike resulted in numerous civilian casualties and the destruction of 4 mosques, including the Al-Gharbi Mosque, Yasin Mosque, and Al-Susi Mosque, all of which were confirmed destroyed by satellite footage. Under the Rome Statute.
And how would Israel feel if they were hitting, Jewish temples or what are they called? I forget.
I'm drawing a complete blank, actually. I have no idea. I'm sure I know the word, but
religious buildings, whatever. I'm just making a comment. How or like Christians are supporting, Israel doing this. How would you feel if they were bombing churches, Christian churches? Yeah. You would be okay with that? That would be cool. That would be not a war crime to you? Like, come on.
Yeah. Absurd. Under the Rome Statute, it is a war crime to intentionally attack places of worship in a non-international conflict. The Al-Shati camp established...
So it's okay in international conflicts? No.
I suppose that's what it said, isn't it? It says it in non-international conflict.
Yeah. What the fuck? Here's Damien's rule. No. As an axiologist, no. Hell no. Fuck no. No, it's always wrong. What the fuck? No.
Very strange.
Did you see how crazy fucking sometimes when they write, you're like, wait a minute. What is that?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's never okay. What the fuck? It's like, well, rape is okay if you're married. No, it's not. What the fuck?
Right. Nope.
Survey says, I don't really care what the survey says. No.
Yeah, that's right. The Al-Shati camp, established in 1948 to shelter Palestinians displaced during the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, is home to over 90,000 refugees and covers an area of 0.52 kilometers squared. That's very small.
Right, which should take even more precision and not carpet bombing, right? Or
like half a kilometer squared. That's fucking nothing.
No.
For 90,000 people? That's insane.
So did you know about all this stuff that we're reading?
No, No, I mean, I knew bits and pieces. I've some of the podcasts I listened to have talked about the history of Palestine and Israel and stuff. But so I didn't know all of, like, especially I didn't know all of the more recent stuff. I just knew about the bombings and like I knew some of the stuff because I don't really pay that much attention to like the actual current news anymore.
Well, and not that they do a good job of making sure we know all this stuff either.
Right. Yeah,
right?
That's right.
So, I mean, even if I did say they are getting better, not much, but they did. I mean, like I said, I was actually shocked. Well, they're actually going against the president. Is this even like legal on the news? Or wow, that person
technically legal, but very frowned on.
Yeah, I think that person's gonna lose their job.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
You fucking told the truth. Hold on. When you just held fucking. Did you tell truth to power? Did you just say the American president did something wrong? Did America was? Oh, come on.
We're the media. We're not journalists. What do you do?
Yeah, like. So it is, but isn't that sad that it's shocking when they just, I don't know, tell the fucking plain truth? You know, I remember talking about that. There was about that said that one in 1914, whatever it was, that anarchist, you know, talking about how to do school.
Oh yeah,
and saying we should just tell the plain truth. Yeah, what a shocker that is, right? In this world, don't tell the plain. Like I said, Democrats, don't tell the plain truth about Biden because they won't vote for him. Look, if you have to lie to people about who someone is to get people to vote for him, you're acknowledging that person is a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, Cory, if someone was going to vote for Damien for president, would you have nothing except lies to tell to promote me?
No, I think you could lay out the case pretty well just to say like, okay, well, this is who he was and this is who he is.
Right. But your actions now definitely should matter. But my point is you would be able to tell my life, good and bad, and people would still like me because there's a lot more good, especially now, than bad.
Yeah.
So, right. But if you have to hide the bad,
then there's too much bad.
Yeah, you're literally the baddies. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just saying, really. I mean, I don't feel we accept the plain truth. We live in this cognitive denial of reality so that we can sycophantly, you know, promote scumbags. Yeah. I told you I'm not going to do that. I don't. It's like I said. If I go to war, I'm going to be anti-war. If I have to kill, I'm still going to hate killing.
Yeah, I'm just like that. Seems like half a kilometer squared is such a small area.
See, like, an American, I have no clue what that means.
So like,
kilometer,
a mile.
Isn't it like almost half or something of a mile?
A mile is 1.2 and change kilometers.
1.2.
Yeah. So so that would be like less than half a mile.
Right. But I mean, I'm just saying. Also, by the way, I really hate that America is on this stupid fucking system. Yeah. So, and then we're ignorant. Like it sucks. I go and talk to people and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm a dumb fuck. All right, great. America. Yeah, so fucking rock on. America. Yeah, where we don't fucking have good shit. We have colonialism, and then we're like, yeah, we want to keep it, every part of it, even the racism.
So it's 0.2 square miles squared. Yeah, 2.2 square miles. So nothing. Like it's a tiny little square of an area.
There was a park in my near my neighborhood called Mile Square Park. It was a mile by a mile by a mile by a mile, so like a big square.
That's a decent size, but
but it really still, I could walk all around it, so it really wasn't that big. You know what I'm saying?
128 acres, if you're in farm terms.
I don't know that either. I'm good and ignorant and a lot of shit like that. That's why I know it's weird where I know a whole shitload of some stuff, like a sickening amount, right? You've seen like
yeah.
Woo! Comes to some prehistory shit. I could talk for fucking 20 hours straight and never even say the same shit. And you know, but when it comes to some stuff, like you said about, you know, how we can't, as you know, Westerners in a sense, pronounce indigenous names, just because we've been trained that way.
It's less than, yeah. So in Saskatchewan, we've got like all our roads were done by a mile back in the old days. So every section of land is called is a mile by a mile. And so then a quarter section is kind of how we measure things. Like people own quarter sections. And that's 160 acres. Is like your home quarter is 160 acres. That gives you room for a house. It gives you room for a garage, room to work on your equipment, and some farmland around it.
But speaking of that, that goes back to my thinking of like when I told you before that some leftists, their opinion is we need to murder all the billionaires. That's actually not my personal position. I don't think they should be murdered. I told you I think they should
just take their stuff.
Yeah, remove. Well, they've stolen it, so they should. Yeah. Well, that's all I believe, anyways. Once Anarchist happens, we don't go. Well, what did you have before? You know, I'm sorry, that's all stolen labor. I don't care. Yeah. That doesn't count.
Yeah,
to me. But I'm saying is, so what I want is a society where all of us are equal. So if you said we get whatever 40 acres and a mule, then we all should get 40 acres and a mule. Right. All of us, everybody. Yeah. Then we'll worry about who gets seconds once everyone gets firsts. I don't know. That's these. Logical as fuck. So I'm just saying, my opinion is I want things the way they should accurately be. There shouldn't be kings. I wouldn't kill them. They're not a king no more. Fuck you. You're a nobody like everybody else.
So, so 1 acre, which is like enough room for a yard and a house, is 0.0015 square miles.
Okay, well let's keep reading.
Yeah. So it's such a small area. I can't even imagine for that many people. It's so small.
Right, but do you see when you actually look at the facts, it's worse than even like say making up shit. It really is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like I said, why go into other stuff? Just do the fucking tell the truth. The truth is bad.
So Jabalia Camp Market airstrikes. Since October 9th, 2023, the IDF has carried out several airstrikes on the Jabalia refugee camp market in Gaza. The attack on October 9th resulted in the deaths of over 60 civilians and extensive damage to the market. The Jabalia market was a commercial center located in the northeastern part of Gaza City, known for its lively atmosphere. As a result of the Israeli airstrikes in other Gaza areas, internally displaced individuals sought refuge in the camp, causing the market to be densely populated at the time of the airstrike. The attack targeted the Al-Trans area, but the entire market, along with its adjacent buildings, was severely affected. On October 31st, the camp was bombed again by Israeli fighter jets and struck again on November 1st. IDF said that the attack was meant to target Ibrahim Biari, who the IDF said was a key leader of the October 7th attacks, as well as a vast underground tunnel complex beneath the camp that Biari was commanding operations from, according to the IDF. Hamas denied...
Even if they were under there, even if there was one, person in the building, that's like someone says, well, we had to blow up, a whole school of children. There was one Hitler in there. So we just, 40,000 children, we did get the one guy though.
Right. Yeah. It's just not justified. Like
it isn't. That's what I'm saying. It just fucking pisses me. I don't do a lot of, some people do a lot of arguing online. I used to do that. I told you, I don't do that direct activism no more. But that's why I want to do the video, because I couldn't be fucking silent. I want to make sure people know how I think. So, because I feel like, I feel like we shouldn't be silent. This is a time that you shouldn't be fucking silent. I'm not saying that you have to do every single post every single day, but the fact that you do none, that is a problem.
Yeah, that's right. And it is a time, I think, when a lot of people are getting more involved with protests and boycotts and like a variety of actions that, like,
it's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I loved this. I love direct action. In fact, I did fucking 15 years of dedicating my life to direct action. So yeah, but I also got emotional, and my mom died, and it just ever since then, I'm better now. I'm starting to feel better, like more normal.
Yeah.
Like the first, I think 2 years, I think I cried every fucking day. It was fucking like her hours. It was like fuck.
Yeah.
But what I told you, it's not really because of my mom per se. We didn't actually have that great of a relationship. It really is because it reminded me of all the child abuse in my life. I thought I had like moved on past it, you know.
Yeah.
And
But it's
then
always still there, eh?
yeah, well, that's what it felt. I thought it was like I already, gone to counseling. I thought, oh, I'm doing great. I was all feeling powerful and everything. And my mom died, and it's just like it ended. But also, that was like one of my only like little ties sort of to my family. So once that's gone, it's like cutting the fucking thing. My brother is an atheist. I don't exactly know what his political is. He's probably, maybe he's a liberal. I don't know. Maybe he's a little more than that. I don't know. I know he's not as enlightened as I am, but that's for fucking sure. Let's put it that way. But yeah, but really, it's not like he's super caring to do anything. My whole family really is not positive in that way to me. There's nobody that like I tried talking to you. If they were like you, I'd be fucking be good friends with them.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Everything would be great, but it's not, So,
yeah.
In fact, last time I talked to my brother, we kind of got in an argument. He was trying to tell me, going back to like how I do philosophy. Now you already know I do it differently, whatever. But he was trying to tell me that AI was going to get beingness because it has a few traits or whatever. And I said, I was irritated. We were arguing about this. I mean, like for I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or something. And I don't like fucking arguing with people anymore. I'm fucking done with that. And I was like pissed off. I'm fucking home relaxing, and you call up and out of the blue, we're fucking arguing about if AI is sentient. What the fuck is going on?
It's not, by the way.
Well, yeah, right. So I told him, I was getting frustrated because he wouldn't listen, and he's like being cocky, and he's kind of like, how he's debating is irritating.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. It's my brother. I don't want to fucking talk. What the fuck? Like, you can't say hi, and all of a sudden we're like debating this dumb shit. Anyways, I said, listen, let me try to make it as simple as possible. It is a logical fallacy to think they're a being. Done. He goes, what if that's traits? If my Trans Am or car or whatever, can talk and do that, does that make it a human being with fucking dignity rights? No, it does not. Shut the fuck up. It's not. It's not.
Yeah.
And I go, there's nothing to argue about. It's not. It can you make a fake doll that has a fake vagina? Is that a human? No, it's not.
It's not. It's
literally not. Well, don't they have rights? They don't. They literally don't.
The language models that we are now calling AI are so far from fucking actual sentience. Like, it's just a language model. It just scrapes the internet for information. Like, it's
I know.
Not even close.
Never in the future are you going to have it become a dignity being. In other words, what he's not getting, or I guess some people, at least how I see it, it's pseudo-human. So even if you could make it the most pseudo-human possible in every way, it's still a pseudo-human. It's right. And to think it otherwise is where the logical fallacy comes in. You've done an illogical jump. You made something that is inanimate, adamant, not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not. It just isn't.
I don't go into all that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm just making a comment that it is hard to deal with people. And so I sort of going back to why I don't do it. Like, so why am I, since I'm so passionate, why am I not? Because I would be ill. Doing that all the time. And and that's what I was trying to say. But it's not like I don't care. I'm literally taking out time out of the videos I want to do. Yeah. Because it's just this important. And I'm also, wasting Cory's time. He would like to move on to stuff. We can't either, because life is fucked up and we have to address fucked up shit because it's fucked up. This goes back to, like I said, mutualism. For me, it means that I have an obligation here and now, right now, today, not in the future when wonderful things happen and everyone's an anarchist. No, now when no one is, or whatever, where it feels like no one is.
Very few.
Like I'm alone and no one's on my side. I still need to do good.
Yeah, that's right.
Because of me, not because of and then people like go, but why care? You know why I care? Simply because people are worth it. They just are. They're worth it. People are. Cory's worth it. Cory's worth helping. The world is worth helping. People are worth it. It's an axiological thing for me. Simply, are these dignity beings? Yes.
Yeah.
Are they worth it? They're dignity beings, aren't they? Of course they're worth it. Yes. Yeah. Why would I do all this? Because humanity is worth it. That's also why I can't work with nihilists that say the exact opposite. Humanity doesn't have any worth. Like, wow.
Yeah, I definitely have a lot of trouble with that.
Well, like I said, it's the exact opposite of axiology. To think that the world is terrible and horrible, it's the exact opposite. To think that nothing matters, what? No. How did you get that value judgment?
Well, exactly. If you are making that judgment, then how are you being a nihilist? Like, I don't. It seems counterproductive.
But I also don't understand how you can support war crimes by anybody, whether it's Hamas or Israel or America or Canada or fucking Saudi Arabia or whatever the fuck. Even like I said, anarchists, they do it too. Fuck them. Yeah. What the fuck? I mean, is it not like, oh, so imagine if someone goes, well, these war crimes happen. You go, yeah, but was it an anarchist? And they're like, it was. Ooh, then it's not a war crime. You know, does that sound stupid? Right? Does that sound like literally like, okay,
wait a second.
So if I say, but was it America that did it? Well, then it's not a war crime because we're the good guys. And everything we do, even if it's a war crime, we just go, fuck it. It's okay.
Yeah, and yeah, it is a very strange phenomenon that is actually the way people behave. It's like
it's disgusting, but that's why I'm trying to address this so that people know. It's not like I don't notice it. Oh fuck, I notice it big time.
Yeah,
enough to, like I said, it literally makes me ill often because it is so. But see, going back to the reason that one of the reasons why I feel ill is because I care. I don't want humanity to be like this.
Yeah.
I don't want war. I don't want violence. I don't want rape. I don't want children hurting. I don't want starving. I don't want homelessness. You know, that's why I'm an anarchist. So.
And I'm not capable of accepting the line that there will always be injustice. There will always be people hurting each other. Fuck that. It's up to us to make a world where that isn't the case.
Right. I always, I have a meme that says that the world is not kind. And that is why it is upon us to make it so.
I think it's very strange that people are totally fine just saying, oh, well, the world is like shit and there's always going to be war. So we're not going to do anything about it. We're not going to care about it. We're just going to be fine with it. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I'm not fine with it.
That's why I said that we need to speak out. So let's read some more. It's terrible shit.
Yeah. Where was I?
Let's go on to the next one, the school.
Sure.
Did you already read that?
No, not yet.
Let's read the school.
UNRWA school airstrike on October 17th. On 17th of October, the IDF carried out an airstrike on the UNRWA school in the Magazi refugee camp, killing 6 and injuring dozens. The school was sheltering 4,000 refugees. Philip Lazzarini, the UNRWA Commissioner General, stated the attack was outrageous and it again shows a flagrant disregard for the lives of civilians.
Yeah, I mean, just think about that. If your kids were huddled in sheltering in a refugee thing and then were bombed, I mean, it's just
Yeah. So then we've got the Church of Saint Porphyrius airstrike. On the 19th of October, 2023, an IDF airstrike hit part of the Church of Saint Porphyrius, a Greek Orthodox church in Gaza City, Israeli-occupied Palestinian territories, killing at least 18 Palestinian civilians who were sheltering in the church, among over 450 Christians and Muslims. The airstrike caused damage to the church's exterior and led to the collapse of an adjacent building belonging to the church complex. The Greek Orthodox Patriarchate of Jerusalem denounced the attack as a war crime and accused the Israeli military of targeting churches and civilian shelters. So there's one of those churches, those Christian churches we were talking about earlier.
Right. And just so people know, I'm an iconoclast in this, the fact that I want to absolutely terrify the idea of faith, not faith believers.
Right.
The philosophic concept that makes people believe things, that is what I'm attacking, not believers.
Yeah.
So just I'm against believers sticking their symbols all over the place. If they're church, that's fine. But when they want it like on all the buildings and all the schools, and all the, instrumental buildings or whatever, like judges, courts and stuff, there's religious crap in there. What? Oh yeah, now that's gotta go.
Yeah.
No. That I have no problems, fighting against and wanting to tear down. But their own place, no. No. They own themselves. They have the right to believe what they want, go where they want, and not be fucking attacked. But I have the right to not have to deal with that. Putting that bullshit all over the fucking place too.
Yeah, exactly. That's supposed to be what secularism is. Yeah. But then you get places like Quebec, where they outlaw Muslims wearing certain religious gear, but they don't do anything about anything Christian because they're essentially a Catholic province, and they're
bigots.
They use the name of secularism to promote their bigotry, is what it is.
There you go. So but it just goes back. Someone asked me about or made a comment or something about the atheist movement. I can't remember now. But anyways, I brought it, or maybe I brought it. I'm not totally sure. But anyways, I wanted to address that in a sense, like, even though I'm an atheist, it does not mean that I'm like 100% with the atheist movement, even if I like some of the stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not, and I've been to just conventions or whatever. And just like people don't understand, I'm not a new atheist. I never have been.
Yeah, that's right.
Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, those guys had nothing to do with why my atheism or anything. I didn't become an atheist. I was already an atheist for, I think it was like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
No, more than that, maybe. I 2006 I became an atheist, and I don't think I got on until, I don't even remember, as I was kicked off Facebook, so I can't look, but I think like 2010 or 11 or something.
I was what we would call an agnostic. I just kind of didn't really think too much about it for like up until probably 2009. I was something like that, and then I kind of got more into like Hitchens. Kind of pushed me off into so I was a new atheist, but
I'm just making a comment that I'm not. I never have been. Hitchens had nothing to do with me. Actually, none of them had anything to do with my thinking. None.
Yeah.
Nothing. Not even though I kind of like, but not everything he says, but Matt Dillahunty, and I kind of like some of the things that I would say of all the new atheists or whatever, the people, the only one that I feel like is close to like could be a friend is maybe Aaron Ra. Right. I mean, I kind of liked Matt Dillahunty too, but some of his views I don't like. Just right. like just as people know, that one of the ones I don't remember. There was a video where Aaron Ra and him are talking back and forth, and Aaron Ra, I don't remember exactly, but it got political. See, I like Matt Dillahunty, and still he starts talking politics, and then I start to go, okay, I see where we're different. But anyways,
yeah.
But Aaron Ra said that I don't remember exactly what it was on, but he said something about marijuana laws against were racist or whatever against Mexicans or Hispanics or something like that. And if I remember right, Matt Dillahunty says, "Oh, there's no racist laws in America. There was no laws." Like, yes, there was.
Surely by now he's learned better, right?
Well, I would hope so. But anyways, my yeah. But my point was he was attacking Aaron Ra for saying this, and then saying that he's smarter, he knows more, or whatever. And Aaron Ra kind of was like, "Okay, I guess you could maybe be smarter and know more." I'm like, see, that wouldn't have worked. It'd have been not a very nice thing because I would have gone, "Oh, fuck no." Because in fact, I did, and people think that like if you look at the video from me and Matt Dillahunty, I do stop him because to me, he doesn't promote violence, but he like says, "Oh, this is kind of good." And I'm like, no, it's not. Nope, punching people, random people, is not good. Nope. And so, I mean, I chastise him and everybody else right there. I don't give a fuck. Because that's you know why? Because Damien doesn't give a fuck. I will tell the truth. No, it's not. Once again, it's not because what I mean by not giving a fuck. I mean, I don't care if
no,
is my thing. I don't care if he's Matt Dillahunty. I don't care if the fucking president. I'll say back the same shit because it's just the. I generally also the same thing. I try to be ethical regardless who the fuck I'm talking with. Even if they don't deserve it, they don't earn it, and then don't right to it. I still go, yeah, but for me, they're still a dignity being, and I'm going to try to do my best to help them. But also, I have more, my stuff is from counseling also, because my degree is psychology. So I'm sure, in a sense, I approach things differently. And I also have skills naturally to manipulate people or motivate them to change or do things. And then I have counseling, which teaches you more of that,
right?
What I was already good at. I mean, because just as you say, when I first went to counseling school, the other students were complaining to the teacher that it was not fair to have to take the class with Damien.
Because you wrecked the curve.
Because I was so freaking good at it, wasn't even trained yet, and it was so freaking good from the jump that the teacher felt that I was amazing. He goes, well, Damien is amazing, but some people are just naturals. Yeah, and I'm one of them. Anyways, it goes back to what I was trying to say, though. I try to take this stuff, like I said last video, I don't try to take my knowledge and abuse people. I try to go, how can I empower people? How can I get them to understand? How can I get them to care more? How can I get them to be more ethical? How can I get them to see the need to care? That's like this video. I want to go, look, we're not just, hating America because, we're just in different political view.
No.
Literally, there's a reason to think this way.
Yeah.
And it's justified. And that's what I try to do even with prehistory, Yes, I make some pretty wild accusations. And guess what? I have evidence to back them up, to make them at least seem reasonable. Like I said, you have Graham Hancock that just makes up damn bullshit and racist crap and whatever, That should be called out, literally.
Yeah.
And so when the archaeologists call him out, they, people see the archaeologists as somehow the bad guys. Graham Hancock's the bad guy. These guys are the good guys, at least in this area.
Yep.
What the fuck? No, that's like people that are anti-vax. The person who's trying to tell you the actual things, they're saying he should be hanged. I just go, oh my God, dude, we need to do education so fucking bad. It's like that's why I think like that you are doing, helping people understand anarchism and different issues and stuff and analysis and it's excellent. Cory, people, like I said, they need some help, man, bad, because they're not good, obviously.
Yeah, we've gotten to a pretty bad, almost I don't know what you would call it. Like, it's like a really bad place with the way that people interact with facts and the truth. It's worse than
it's the worst in my whole life, I think.
Yeah, I think it's the worst it's ever been in my whole life.
Yeah, I've never remember it being this fucked. Like I said, and that's why I'm going back to Graham Hancock even, people that say fake history. This one person goes, yeah, but it debunks religion. Let's just say that Graham Hancock's, who cares? It's a lie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a fallacy. It doesn't debunk anything. It's a fucking lie.
If it's a lie, then it doesn't actually debunk anything. It's just a fucking lie.
See? Done. That's like someone said, well, the ancient alien stuff, makes people not believe in religion. Okay, but then they believe in ancient aliens, which is equally bad.
Yeah, like I want people to believe true things. I don't.
Yeah, true, but the plain truth, like that anarchist teacher said a long time ago. Real good wisdom. I don't know. Let's teach the plain truth. No dogma. Exactly. Right? So he said, no dogma. Yeah, no dogma. It's like I don't feel like I really do. I do propaganda as promoting anarchism, but I don't really do dogma. Because what I say about anarchism is true, beneficial to humanity.
We do agitprop.
So,
yeah, we're doing propaganda, we're doing agitation, but we're not doing dogma. We're not teaching people that, to believe a true thing on.
And I don't want people
evidence.
To follow me or to stop following me like on Twitter, but I mean like idolize me or something, or idolize you, or idolize anybody.
Right.
Actually, how wanted to stop all that? How's that? Let's stop all the idolization of anybody. It should be just like your actions are good, and that's a good. You should do good. It's like It reminded me, I was alcoholic, right, and drunk to where I almost died. At 17, I had liver failure and shit. It was like rare because I fucking drank like a maniac. But then again, it runs in my family. My grandfather died at 40. I still don't drink, even though now I smoke pot. I still don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. Right. And which a lot of people find it's weird. I'm like, yeah, literally, my grandfather died at 40, and I almost died at 17. I don't think I'm fucking touching alcohol again.
Alcohol is probably not the best move for you then.
Nope. It turns me into a piece of shit. So I was like, yeah, I'm not fucking doing that. Fuck that shit. So, but this is I think, people need to analyze, is this healthy for my life? Yep. Is it healthy in your life to see genocide and look the other way? No, that's not healthy for your humanity. It just isn't. Yeah, it's harmful, actually. You are harming your humanity. The same thing I feel like if you can't have any humanity for the victims that Hamas did against the Israeli, how can you not? The women and children fucking hurt, tied up, burned. Like, what the fuck? If you can't have humanity for fucking people being hurt, the same thing I feel. How dare you not have humanity for the Palestinians? What the fucking hell? Yeah. So I mean, yeah, we need like a mental, wake up call, like a reboot. Like turn off the computer, turn it back on because something's gone fucked up wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's go back to ethics are important. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The very basics.
Yeah, right. Let's keep reading.
Okay. Hospitals.
Yeah.
Medical professionals allege Israel broke medical neutrality, a war crime under the Geneva Conventions. Numerous reports emerged of the IDF targeting ambulances and health facilities with airstrikes. In a statement, the World Health Organization stated, there are verified reports of deaths of healthcare workers and destruction of health facilities, which denies civilians the basic human right of life-saving healthcare and is prohibited under the international humanitarian law. The WHO additionally condemned Israel's order to evacuate 22 hospitals in northern Gaza, stating healthcare workers faced...
How many hospitals?
22.
That's even more. I don't remember reading this, but that's even more than I remembered. Like,
that's a lot,
I thought it was like 1 or 2 or 3 hospitals. 22 hospitals.
22. Yeah.
Or I'm going to guess that after the 22 hospitals, it's not an accident.
Yeah, it seems like,
Right?
Yeah, probably.
So it kind of does sound like you're not, at least not giving a fuck, if nothing else.
Yep.
If it's a hospital or not, which is evil as fuck.
Yeah,
hospital.
Not cool.
Like,
where vulnerable people are. And people who save other people's lives are.
Vile as fuck. I just...
I don't like it.
So Biden sending more missiles to do this, and you have a problem. Wait, so you have the problem with me calling him a scumbag, not him being a scumbag?
Right.
Right. So how did
your priorities are fucked up.
I'm the bad guy?
Yeah. Right. Nonsense.
He who's against fucking humans being harmed is the bad guy. Okay. You need to check your morality at the door somewhere. Like, because it didn't come with you, obviously.
Yeah, just absurd. Like, it reminds me of so many other cases where people are more concerned with being called a thing or being called out for racism, sexism, a variety of,
Oh, we're going to be called out for being anti-Semitic. You just know that. Just know someone in the comments is going to write some bullshit about how you and me are anti-Semitic and we're just Israel or atheist bigots or some bullshit.
I believe that I have established like a non-anti-Semitic reputation.
It won't matter, Corey.
but I am anti-Zionist, so
right. And I told you if it depends on for me personally, because I don't care what anyone else fucking thinks. But for me personally, when you say I always think of ontology, right? Remember when you say Zionist, I go, what do you mean by that? Because I need to hear, because I'm probably against it, but I want to hear what you have to say.
Well,
that's Jewish people have a right to live somewhere in Palestine. And I go, oh, okay, I agree with that.
Okay, sure.
If it's like Jews have the right to take all the Palestinians' land, oh fuck, if that's what you mean, then hell, fuck no.
Right? Yeah. Because when I say Zionist, I mean like the Israeli expansion project. And
right. Like, all I'm trying to say is that I listen to what people have to say, and then I judge them for what they fucking say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we should do, right? I'm just saying, I don't assume everyone. I try to generally kind of like it's a counseling technique called open dialogue. In other words, like, say if right now you told me go fuck you, Damien, fuck you. An open dialogue, I'll show you how they would handle it. You just tell me fuck you.
Okay, fuck you.
Okay, that's interesting. Could you tell me more about why you feel that I deserve to have that said? Do you see? Hold on, don't need to answer, but do you see how I actually neutralize? I take the aggression out, and I try to be understanding. It's a way that, anyways. So like it's called open dialogue. You can go look it up, but I don't do is that. I'm just giving you an enhanced thing of, or a what to go look up about what I kind of do, but that's not really exactly what I do. But I mean, I'm just giving you an idea that the object is that you just like there's a thing where Carl Rogers and is a humanist therapy. He says unconditional positive regard. Now I don't do that because I don't believe you use, because I'm an axiologist. Right. If I'm talking to a full-on scumbag, there's no fucking way I'm gonna have positive regard. What I'll have is not negative regard. That I will do. In other words, like I did there. When you said fuck you, I didn't give you negative back. I go, oh, really? Could you explain that to me? But what I'm saying is, Cory, I mean, you do not realize the power that has over people. Will stop on a dime when you do that. You just fucking stop them.
Yeah.
They're, hold on. You won't listen to me, and go, okay, yeah. You know what? I want to listen to you now. But see, I didn't say I didn't listen to you before. I didn't agree with you. I just said what I'm going to do now. It's just a way of organizing how you talk. Anyways, I could do a lot of talking online. I am not wasting my fucking time. But like I said, this needs to be done. So even though I want to get back to talking about China and then Japan and then Siberia, and then we're going to talk about Graham Hancock and that because he fucks up the Americas. Then we'll talk to the Americas, the real shit. And then we'll actually get into even more stuff. We're going to talk about the mound cultures and stuff. And we're both sides of it. One is the mound builder myth that white people, like Graham Hancock.
Oh, yeah.
White people did stuff, which is total bullshit. And then we'll talk about what happened, or at least what happened, and then what Damien thinks happened. How's that? Because what I think happened is different, and it certainly has nothing to do with Graham Hancock, but it is anyways, I don't want to. Just to go into that real quick. Someone, just to show people like my knowledge, someone said, I said John Hoops that I was going to buy 2 of his books. They're like it's like $145 or $47 to buy 2 of his books, right? I'm going to buy them. And I told you I don't want to read anymore. I don't. But I also told you that I fucking like the truth. And I think I have like really close ideas on what, when, where, who did what, some of the things, but I'm not fully acquainted to where I feel comfortable. And I want to feel comfortable when I can just step on facts all over the place.
Right.
And I don't feel like I don't feel as comfortable with the Native American stuff because I've been focusing on trying to figure out Europe and Africa and in China and all these Siberia. I mean, I figured out quite a lot of stuff. So, and India, I know about that too. We'll get to a video on India too. Like I told you, especially because I told you in general. How could we say as anarchists, we are for all humanity and not talk about China and India, literally the 2 biggest amounts of humanity in the world?
Yeah, for sure.
And that we are, especially in the Western world, are just close to clueless about.
Yeah.
So I feel like, but anyways, so people know that's why my goal is to educate, and so you're enlightened, because I told you a bunch of things. I think it's anti-racist because you learn the fucking truth, like and then you also learn to respect other cultures. You're like, wow, this culture is pretty interesting. Look at all this stuff. Wow, I didn't know this. Like you learn different. So I think it helps us be less bigoted in general. So this, just so you know, it's not just like, because obviously we don't just teach history, right? We don't just have the History Channel. We do like anarchist history. We analyze stuff and make comments, and we address real issues that are going on. Think about how it relates to the past, the present.
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to do here too. Is that I really feel like people say, you can't give people education, and expect them to change. I also don't agree with that totally. It's what you can't do is punch people in the face with the truth and expect them to listen.
Right.
But since I already told you open dialogue, I have I know not just that works for me, but it's an effective thing that they use, period. Especially the crazy, it won't work on everyone. Literally, they teach us to do this to insane people. So every argument that that's not the way to do it is wrong, because it literally can clinically be shown to be effective.
Right.
And anyone ever doubts that, just send them to me if I wanted to, show off, and I can show you how I can manipulate people. But anyways, but I don't want to get into that, because actually I do have a big ego, and I need to constantly remind myself to stop having a big ego. So, but it is a character flaw because of abuse. I was seriously abused, and so I became a sociopath. And that does two things. A, it means I don't care about you guys. Doesn't mean I care about me that much either, really. As a sociopath. Psychopaths may care more about themselves, but sociopaths, we hurt ourselves and others.
Right.
We're not like great at either, actually. Relationships, jobs, all terrible. Everything's terrible generally for a sociopath. It's all fucked. But we usually don't care or like that it's fucked.
Right.
That's how sick we are. We're like, this is kind of crazy. I fucking like it. It's fucking terrible. So yeah, it's not that. Anyways, but so like I told you, it's one of the things I have to work on is other people feel imposter stuff. I feel like imposter in the fact that I'm already the best motherfucker in the world, and why the fuck am I not treated like it? No, but I'm saying compared to everyone else, thinking
in a sense,
Damien's like, step out of the fucking way. Let someone who really knows what the fuck is going on tell you. They go, well, Damien, what's your favorite form of communication? I go, thank you for asking. Others not talking and me talking while they listen. That is my sociopath style of communication. Cory goes, I've never noticed that.
Yeah, no, it seems like you actively are doing the opposite of that. So,
well, see, that's why I also don't cut anyone slack, because it's a fucking choice. How many kids have you molested, Cory?
0.
How many women have you raped?
0.
Me, 0. So, but so should we get credit for not raping?
No, we don't actually deserve any credit for that.
Let's throw a party that I am not a rapist. Should I be proud that that's like the basic line? You don't get credit for that. No. That's like, of course you shouldn't do that, and you should also do good things, because that's what you don't get credit for not raping.
You don't, not molesting. Not doing the bad thing is, like you say, it's the basic. That's the bottom.
Right. So you get what I'm saying? You don't get like happy credit for that, little party hats. No. What the fuck? Of course you should do that. In fact, you should do good, not just not bad. You should actively do good. Then you're good. See, I think it's crazy, right? Not do bad, actively do good, right? So, is the United States actively not doing bad and actively doing? Fuck no. How about Israel? Fuck no. Nope. So, I mean, you shouldn't be mad at me for addressing the ethical errors that these two countries are doing. You literally should be judging them. Or you should judge yourself for not being ethical enough. Yeah. Because if you can look at unethical things and not have an ethical problem, there's an ethical problem. To put it simply.
Yeah.
So let's keep going.
Sure. Where was I?
Go down to journalists.
All right, journalists. As of October 25th, 24 journalists had been killed in the conflict, making it the deadliest period in the conflict for journalists since 1992. According to the Committee to Protect Journalists, of the journalists killed, 20 were Palestinian, 3 Israeli, and 1 Lebanese. A situation.
By the way, there's like 3 paragraphs. Just read the first one, and let's go down to the executing, surrendering Palestinians.
Okay.
What the fuck? But
no kidding. Okay, so a situation, a CPJ spokesperson called Unprecedented. The Arab and Middle Eastern Journalists Association has condemned the spate of deaths and restated that targeting journalists is a stark violation of press freedom and international human rights law. Earlier in 2023, the CPJ released a report stating that 20 journalists had been killed by Israeli military fire since 2001, for which, to date, no one has been held accountable.
Isn't that freaking messed up?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no. Well, and guess what? Society as a whole doesn't seem to be holding them accountable enough. I mean, like, what the fuck? Like I said, how is this even a hard issue?
It's not. It's so upside down that people are like humming and hawing over whether, not even just humming and hawing over it, but like there are a whole bunch of people that are actively like pro-Israel, and anybody who disagrees is anti-Semite, right? Like
I said, we're probably going to be called anti-Semites.
Yeah, for
which
sure.
is ridiculous. I have tons of people now that are currently Jewish and friends, and I've had people in the past my entire life that were Jewish. I'm not, anti-Semite, but I am anti-fucking terrorism, and I don't give a fuck who it is. I'm going to call that shit out.
Not anti-Semitic, anti-Israeli state terrorism.
Yes. Well, I'm anti-terrorism, so it doesn't matter to me who the fuck does it.
But in this case, it's the Israeli.
I'm just saying, it just currently happens to be the Israel's doing it, and so I'm going to call the shit out because I fucking am against terrorism. Period. Done.
Yeah. Part of me wonders like how this, like, because people still identify with the state. Like, I don't identify with the state of Canada. When Canada does something awful, I condemn that. I want to stop it from happening. I don't think, oh, well, it's my country, therefore it's okay.
Yeah, or we'll try better next time. What?
Yeah, that shit blows my mind.
What? No, bullshit. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Go down to sexual
executing surrendered Palestinians.
Surrendering Palestinians, and we know this is true that they do this. They literally killed their own hostages. So
for sure,
with peace flags.
On October 10th, the Israeli Defense Force published a video that appeared to show IDF soldiers shooting 4 surrendering Palestinians. Footage analysis indicated the men appeared to be surrendering, with 3 men getting on the ground with their arms raised, one waving a piece of white clothing. None of them appeared to be armed at the time of the shooting, while a subsequent video showed the bodies had been moved with weapons placed near them on the ground. The analysis concluded the 4 men...
So 2 crimes. Right? The one crime of actually killing them, and then another crime of trying to cover it up, which it literally is another crime.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They lied about. Yeah, they lied about what happened, and they tried to make it look like
they covered it up and tried to falsify, which is literally fucked up.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so the analysis concluded the 4 men were unarmed Palestinians that left Gaza through a breach in the separation wall. An IDF spokesman said he had no comment. Killing surrendered civilians or combatants is a war crime. Which
I think it's interesting that they even have to say that in because before that, oh, Cory, it's a war crime. You can't kill people, you're surrendering.
It's fine if it doesn't say that it's a war crime, I guess.
Yeah. Look at back like I said about ethics. You have to be told that. You literally have to be told that shooting unarmed people that are surrendering is bad. You don't even understand ethics if you have to be told that.
Yeah, it's fucked.
What?
So fucked. So abuse and sexual humiliation of detainees.
Oh, America is definitely guilty of that shit in Iraq.
For sure. Yeah. Video evidence surfaced of what is described as a flagrant violation of international laws related to the protection of civilians. Israeli soldiers were shown surrounding detainees in Yad Hebron, being dragged and assaulted by the Israeli soldiers. Many of the detainees had been stripped naked as a form of sexual humiliation, having both their arms and feet bound and beaten with the butts of rifles and trampled. Video evidence depicting degradation towards detainees shows Israeli soldiers transporting Palestinians from Offer prison, all of whom are blindfolded and stripped completely naked. In another video uploaded by an Israeli soldier, a blindfolded and bound Palestinian is shown kneeling on the ground. The soldier taunts him in Arabic, telling him, "Good morning, whore," before repeatedly kicking and spitting on him.
Let's keep reading. Alleged allegations of genocide.
Allegations of genocide. On 17th of October, 10 days after the start of the war, 880 scholars of international law and genocide signed a public statement saying, as scholars and practitioners of international law, conflict studies, and genocide studies, we are compelled to sound the alarm about the possibility of the crime of genocide being perpetrated by Israeli forces against Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. The statement...
Right. 880 scholars is not enough.
No, clearly,
right?
Yeah.
No, it's just Cory's and Damien's opinion because we're communists. Yeah, that's it.
Right.
That's all it is. Yeah. Yeah. 880 scholars think so. Oh, okay.
And the statement called on UN bodies, including the UN Office of Genocide Prevention and Responsibility to Protect, as well as the Office of the Prosecutor of International Criminal Court, to immediately intervene, to carry out the necessary investigations and invoke the necessary warning procedures to protect the Palestinian people from genocide.
Right. And you were talking about your partner. And remember, I do want to also talk about the Bantu expansion. I wanted to talk about that anyways.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, I want to talk about all about what happened in Africa, but the Bantu expansion is an important part of that.
For sure.
But so, and your partner is Bantu, related. So I told you before, I think it would be cool if she joined us, or if she wants to. She doesn't have to, but if she wants to join us, and I always say, to me, we were talking about a place. I always am open to someone from that place talking with us.
For sure.
Because I do like getting other people's, insight. To me, it goes back to like my value is not just archaeology and anthropology and history. I also value ethnography, which is when you go and actually in the culture and you find out what's really going on, in the culture. You like live in it, or you interact with them to find out actually what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, we're she's getting back into doing stuff online, so yeah.
You're like, oh, Damien, she saw your shit, not happening. She's like, oh, what the fuck? No.
No, she might be into it though, for sure. I will check in.
I know you probably still haven't had her read that blog about that. I explain all that about the Bantu expansion, all that. We even cite her experience.
I think I did share it with her. I don't know if she read it, but I did share it with her.
Well, that's the one we're gonna do the video on. So
yeah,
that'll be after the Americas. Then we'll do that, because once we go after the Americas, I'm gonna start writing my book again. I'll do other stuff with you, but I'm just letting you know that my goal is to get to the Americas. Because see, then I understand. I don't want to finish the book until I understand better. And then you're probably thinking, how could that be? Look how much I understand. Well, I still want to understand better, because once again, I like science shit. I want to understand better.
Right. Yeah. It's not finished yet.
Weird like that. Because the two places that I really, really need to get better at is the Americas, like to understand the religion part I'm talking about, and the culture. There's so many cultures I want to understand more. I have to read more cultures,
right?
Which I keep reading, but I mean, how else am I going to figure out the truth without looking at the truth, or at least trying to, So that in Australia, but since Australia is not as much important in the world religions as to me as the Americas is, because of all the reason. One of the reasons why, beyond the fact that it's important to talk about indigenous cultures and how America and Canada fuck them, and other countries too, South America and whatever, but it's also to me because it's an anti-racist thing.
Right.
When we explain the truth of what really happened, then you can't believe, well, it could have been aliens or white people. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So it counteracts that also the bullshit, not just getting this truth up, but it also is counteractive in an anti-racist way, because the real truth is that shit is. Oh, this goes back to someone said, I forgot. Someone said to me about the mound cultures or whatever. They said, oh, well, because I said I want to read about the cultures down there in South America. They said, oh, well, did you know that the Turkic language has 300 cognates with the Olmecs? I think he said. Well,
okay.
I don't know if it's 300. So I don't.
Okay.
But it is something. There is similarity in many words. But I said, that's not, it doesn't mean the Turks came over here. That doesn't, no. Here's what it is.
Right.
After the land bridge falls at 10,000, that's where people can come from, walk before, from Siberia over to Alaska.
Right.
When that land bridge falls at 10,000, around there, there's at least 3, if not 4 waves after that we know, because they're younger. We know more connections to language. I don't know about the other older ones. There certainly was something, but I don't know, and it's kind of hard to find out compared to after this point.
Right.
Okay. But the ones after the point are a lot clearer, and they go to Siberia, Central Siberia, Northern Asia area, right? And then that's the ones at 7 and 8. Then the ones at 5,000, it's more just sort of Siberia north and East Russia, whatever. And then later, it's just East Russia and Alaska. So it's like boom, 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 3 waves in a sense. But since they're all kind of in a similar thing, anyways, I don't go into all that because this video is not all I said. But my point was he was saying this and like it was a weird thing, and I'm like, yeah, I understand it because it has to do with the Nadain languages and the Yensin languages from Siberia coming into the Americas. And to me, I feel they brought paganism, God beliefs. There was not before. They brought God beliefs. They brought power and dominance, elite beliefs that people can be elite. I think they brought in slavery too. To me, or the concept of things like that, property and stuff. Different. They weren't there before. They literally were not there before. And I think that a lot of the languages in America, if you notice, most of them are under 5,000. There's a lot of them are under 5,000 because, and I think that the Nadain comes in 6, 7 and starts immediately dominating all these areas. And like I said, 5,000 years ago, there's a full-on massacres in Central California. And then I told you people from California 5,000 years ago go all the way down to Peru. And guess what? That's exactly when they get pyramids. Weird how that happened. Then I think it's, if I remember right, it's like 3,000 years when, or something, 2,500, 3,000 years, I can't remember, or 3,000 something, when people from the Pacific Northwest become the people now that are in the Great Lakes. That language goes back to Proto-Alaic, which like the people, the Ojibwe or something, the ones that the word totemism is actually from, is from the place, I think maybe Canada, near the Great Lakes or over near Ontario. I don't remember exactly. But anyways, my point is that I'm probably saying there's probably another way of calling the name. But anyways, they're also the one that made like the dream catcher. Like, now as a the pan native thing. It's only really from them. It has to do with the grandmother spider and stuff, of course, which is a deity. And especially like if you look at grandmother spider down the Pueblos, it's the mother goddess with, of course, the sky god, the same stuff. Yeah. So anyways, but my point is that when they talk about it, like him saying, these old mechs, and they think it's all like, spooky, scary. It's literally not. And yeah, no.
Yeah. It's like you say, like when you follow the migration patterns of the languages and
the language, the DNA, the artifacts, the culture,
religious beliefs, whatever. Of course, there's going to be certain things that are more universal that become common among various groups.
Correct.
So,
well, just like I was saying, so this is how like say, how do you justify that the Nadain brought in gods? Okay, every native doesn't have gods, but every one of the Nadain do. They have, or at least have something called the Great Spirit, which some of them worship as an actual deity, the sky, sun god, or whatever, daylight god, or whatever, and other ones may call it even the Great Mystery, but it's still really the similar thing.
The creator.
Yeah, well, they all creator, right? They all have that. Not everybody in the Americas, but all the Nadain do. Okay, well, so, and I feel the Nadain relate to the mound cultures, and I feel the Nadain relate to the shell mounds, which were also like pyramid or step mounds or whatever. They're not just dirt. There's several different kinds. Anyways, But we're gonna definitely, like I said, look at all that stuff. But
Right, we've got a whole thing planned for that.
well, because that's gonna have to be a lot of videos, like because I literally have had to prove it. I'm gonna have to prove it until you're like your nightmares are looking at pyramids and dirt mounds, you know. But it's also because I care. Once again, I want you to know the truth, and the truth is it's pretty amazing. Just the truth is pretty amazing, really. I mean, it's cool. And just like there's a one of my things that I see that pseudo archaeologists use too, right? This one set of pictures of the pyramids and like these 3 doors, and they're trying to say like it's all connected, and I'm like, yeah, through mythology, yeah, when you believe in trinities, because they all did in a sense, and but then they literally don't grasp like what the trinity is. Well, it probably has to do with the stages of the sun or the moon or whatever. In fact, like I said, there is in Mexico, there's the pyramid of the moon and I think there's the pyramid of the sun. So literally, I know what I'm talking about, and it's not like white people and fucking or aliens or whatever the fuck. Yeah, it's just that stuff irritates me. In Atlantis, like as soon as someone says Atlantis, I just stop listening. Like I literally know that I shouldn't listen to you. It's because you're being foolish. It's like saying, you know, that you found evidence of Santa's, you know, elves or something. Like, how much effort am I going to do to listen to you?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm
actually just not.
I'm just not. Yeah. So, moving back to what we were talking about before genocide. Let's read more about this.
Yeah. So
I think you're on 19th of October.
Yes. 19th of October 2023, amid the 2023 Hamas-Israel war, 100 civil society organizations and 6 genocide scholars sent a letter to Karim Khan, prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, calling on him to issue arrest warrants to Israeli officials for cases already before the prosecutor, to investigate the new crimes committed in the Palestinian territories, including incitement to genocide. Since October 7th, to issue a preventative statement against war crimes and to remind all states of their obligations under international law. The letter noted that Israeli officials in their statements had indicated clear intent to commit war crimes, crimes against humanity, and incitement to commit genocide, using dehumanizing language to describe Palestinians. The 6 specialist genocide scholars...
I feel like that's been on both sides, and that's it. I'm not talking about...
There has been, yeah.
I'm just saying that dehumanizing, I find it to be personally gross when people dehumanize anybody. That's also why, like I said, I can't stand states, because literally they do not accept what is the core thing, that everyone has body integrity, body sovereignty. They own themselves, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They have a right to dignity and inequality, whatever. I mean,
yeah.
They actively infringe on that, so fucking no.
Yep. Yep, for sure. So I guess also the same day, lawyers at the Center for Constitutional Rights stated that Israel's tactics were calculated to destroy the Palestinian population in Gaza, and warned the Biden administration that U.S. officials can be held responsible for their failure to prevent Israel's unfolding genocide.
Okay, pause for a second. We know for a fact America will in no way ever be held accountable.
Yeah, there will never be any consequences.
Never. Zero. Yeah. Look at this. I believe for a fact that Israel will be held accountable before America ever will.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Not that Israel will be held accountable either. I'm not.
No.
They won't either. But if someone was going to be, it would be anybody but America. I'm telling you, it's not ever going to happen.
Yeah.
Which, just think about that for a second.
Fucked, eh?
How fucked up is that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, are we the baddies? Yes.
Yes, the fuck
yes. Yes, the fuck you are. Holy fucking shit. Let's go back to a couple things. So you won't do the thing that the international court can judge you, then you've got something to hide, right? I mean, yeah, it's not really that hard to realize that America's fucked up, I guess, unless you just like lies.
Which apparently a lot of people do.
Oh, they love it. Oh. They love it in a way that just makes me ill. But, you know, like I told you, the difference in me too, like I have people at my time on that are probably just like that, right? You know, that follow me or whatever. The reason why I, more than say some other anarchists, have a lot of fucking people that I really would not associate and fucking give the time of day to is because of I care. Going back to my original thing, why do I do what I do? I do it because I care.
Right.
And because, and people understand some of it, you know, like so one person said, well, you only care because your life was terrible and you don't want other people's life to be terrible. And I'm like, that's a great goal. You're right.
I don't know why that's
that's a great goal that I have.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? Yes, I have that. You are correct. And exactly why do you think I should feel ashamed of that? I don't know.
That's a very good reason to believe the things I believe and want the things I want.
All we can do, Cory, is be an example. Do the best we can. Be an example and try to tell people the truth, the plain truth, right?
Yeah,
plain truth without dogma. That's all we can do. And so, but it really hurts. The fact that I know this video is not gonna affect people the way it should, like make them change. It's also really sad to me that ever that people would choose anything over ethics. Like it's like saying, I have a chance to be a good person or not.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with not. Like, what? How? What? How do you feel good with yourself? I mean, it's bothering me. I've been way more. My wife goes, man, you're smoking pot like day, night almost, you know, like, I'm like, everything is overwhelming me. It's so fucked. It's so sad. I cried before this video. I thought about all the people that we're not going to get to change, that we're going to fail. Even though we're trying, and it's fucking sad. And how many more people are going to keep dying in this world? Because let's just say that the Palestinian thing stops. We need to fight for justice. Period. I mean, it doesn't. Even if that was solved, that's not the only problem in the world. I mean, we need to have this fire to revolution the world. That's why, to me, even though, like someone said that I'm I seem like a reformist to them. I'm like, man, you've not been listening. I'm telling you, the only thing I care about reforming anything is because I'm a mutualist. We need the best help, good possible we can do now. Yeah. But if you think for a second that I'm okay with this, fuck no.
Exactly.
No. Okay. I told you, only thing I'd be okay with is everyone eats, everyone can have literacy and school free, everyone can have food for free, housing for free.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and if that means billionaires can't exist, wow, I can totally live with that.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I mean,
go figure, eh?
But I also understand that to me as an anarchist, I don't want to make America good and the rest of the world fucking poverty.
Yeah.
I want the world out of poverty, even if that makes America not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm willing to sacrifice some of the luxuries that I have.
Yes.
In order to improve the lives of people who need more.
I totally agree. So that's why I don't feel like it's a hard thing to do the right thing. That's why I won't accept it. What do you mean that you're not doing the right thing? Why? You should be challenging yourself and asking that. Why do I let that happen?
Yeah.
But since we're reading that or thinking on that, let's go to America Propaganda blog real quick.
All right.
Let's because we're trying to figure out why. What is the fucking problem, right, Cory? America is absolutely one of the problems, big problem, and everyone thinks it's the big solution. It's like, wow, man, it's a big problem.
Yeah.
So the blog, got it?
America I got it.
And the myths of freedom, equality, democracy, and liberty. Yeah.
Yep.
Then it has a picture of a flag, right? What would flags look like if they could talk? And so as the blue part of the flag is land theft, the white is slavery, the red is genocide, and the green pole holding everything up. As we know, what holds up America? Greed.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, that holds America up. And now the question I always think, though, is, and what are we going to do to make it different? It's I don't just, like, some people just, like, constantly, analyze shit. I always think, okay, And what we can do now to do something about it. Because I always think direct action. Or like I said, to me, it's mutualism, carrying them down.
Right.
Like, let's say that I vote for, or try to vote for, abortion rights. I actually want humans to own themselves, so they should have all those rights. I don't know why we have to vote for that, but
yeah.
But anyway, so going on to read what it says, or the thing, the little, not the picture, but the first writing. America is a country of shame.
Yeah. So America is a country of shame that glorifies itself as the hero, while actually a real constant part of the world's problems. Capitalism, bigotry, war, and nationalism. Capitalism does not reduce poverty. It simply moves it to different countries or communities and claims victory. Capitalism is an unethical economic system based on profit over people. We are not the scars that make us or the abuse that enslaved us. We are not the dark narrative that may have caused our life of pain. We are who we choose to be now. We are the authors of our lives, and we are not the thing abuse made, but a shining example of true self-mastery.
Shouldn't we exemplify that?
For sure.
So let's go to down a little more. So what was America built on, Corey? What does that next picture say?
It says America was built on two monumental crimes: the genocide of the Native American and the enslavement of Africans. The tendency of official America is to memorialize other people's crimes and to forget its own in order to seek a high moral ground as a pretext to ignore real issues. From Mahmoud Mamdani. Mamdani?
Well, I agree with it. It is what America does. And people do for America. It's like America doesn't even need, people regular people go around and defending America, just as valiantly as any other, cult member would.
Right.
I mean, literally, they can't see wrong and everything's good, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so go ahead and read the next thing, what it says.
So it says,
can we do better? Right?
Yeah.
This is Damien asking the world, actually.
Can we do better? Reparations for slavery?
Well, this is some of Damien's, solutions that will make people unhappy. Go ahead.
Reparations for slavery, American terrorism. Reparations for Jim Crow, American terrorism. Reparations for redlining, American terrorism. Reparations for lynchings, American terrorism. Reparations for unarmed shootings, American terrorism.
Well, I think all those things deserve reparations because it literally is fucking terrorism. Talk about terrorism in the Middle East. Well, we got to fight terrorism. You don't give a fuck about terrorism. You fucking let it in our own streets and don't give a flipping shit about it.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Your response to Black Lives Matter was, no.
All lives matter.
No, or all lives matter, or they go blue lives matter, which is even more fucking ridiculous. There is no such thing as blue lives. Actually, there are some people that could be kind of blue color, but it's actually they have a problem with their body. Now, but what they really mean is that cops matter. That's what they when you say that black people matter because the cops are killing them, they say no, cops matter. So that means that really that they're saying that the black people don't matter. It's pretty fucked up.
Being a cop is a job. You can quit it. You don't have to do it, and it's actually safer than delivering pizzas. So,
yeah, do a dangerous job. Go be a cab.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I have no fucking sympathy. Fucking cowards. Oh, we're the old thin line. No, you're not. You literally just fucking shoot people. Usually unarmed. It's fucking gross.
Yeah.
Fucking, you're heroes. You're fucking shameful. I walked down the fucking street in gang areas and didn't have a gun. Should I be considered the hero? Fucking scumbags. Fucking killing our people and shit. Fucking, yeah. You know what a hero does? It doesn't kill people. I don't know. That's what really should be heroic. It's going back to the real hero real quick. Did you remember I told you, I think before, I know it. I don't know if I've told you. I think I have. That the hero actually was a female. Their first hero. That now we bastardized it so much we think that women can't be heroes when literally that was where it came from.
Right.
It was a female goddess, I think for Aphrodite, and it's called this. You can look it up. It's called Hero and Lander. It's a mythology. Anyways, just making a comment. Look at how propaganda our society's like, because people are like, well, women can't be heroes; they can be heroines. I'm like, literally, the first hero was a woman, so you're wrong. But thank you for playing.
So such nonsense. It's just because we gender everything under patriarchal fucking.
But isn't it crazy when you go to read the original story and it literally was a female?
Yeah. No, it's absurd. Yeah.
Or like, did you ever read the Medusa? Did you know that one of the last myths was that Medusa was turned into a beast to be ugly because of the crime of being raped?
Right. Yeah, I did remember.
Victim of rape. Certainly, yeah. Medusa. Right, yeah. So victim of rape gets then made to be hideous, so no man will want her, and any man that looks at her turns to stone. Wow. That is like fucked on top of fucked. You're a rape victim, and now everyone you look at that could give you comfort in your life is now going to turn to stone until they'll hate you, want to kill you, and see you as a monster. What a great fucking story. Anyways, but that's how our society is. The real truth, right? The truth is that we say, oh, America is good and other people are bad, and we learn that, oh, literally, the other people that we're calling Medusa are the rape victims.
Yeah.
That we are unjustly punishing or whatever, that's like the story. Like, that's how I feel like you learn American history as a kid. You're like, you think that, you're the vanquisher, you killed Medusa. Then you find out Medusa was a rape victim.
Yeah.
Like, I guess are we the bad guys?
It's David and Goliath. Like, everybody believes that America is David when really it's Goliath.
Right. That's what exactly, Goliath. Exactly. So you get what I'm trying to say. So I feel like, so go ahead and read. So reparations for the shootings and all that. And what does this say? Yes, I believe we should give reparations for all this. It's absolutely terrible. I don't know. Let's tax the billionaires. I really have no fucking problem with that. Fuck them.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And so then read that thing that says a study found lynching.
4,000 lynchings in Jim Crow South. Will the U.S. address the legacy of racial terrorism?
The answer is no, they will never do that.
Of course.
And then what did I say about it?
Such vile American terrorism, so horrific that I totally support reparations.
Yep. And then what is the next sentence? This is I love this one because this makes people think. What does it say, Corey? Who should win?
The truth or one of our egos? I think the truth is probably better, but Right. So let's go on to the truth. Right. So recently, one of the foolish people in the Republican thing, Nikki Haley from South Carolina, she was a governor of South Carolina, so she also knows. And she also fought to make Confederate statues not be taken down, or at least was involved in that nonsense. She was also involved about the Confederate flag not being taken down. Yeah, so not like she's ignorant to this stuff, right? Right.
So go ahead and read, Corey, on the slavery one. It says slavery, racism, religion, and the Confederate flag. First thing you see is a picture. And what does it say? Damien's opinion? It shows the...
it's the Confederate flag, but then it's with a swastika.
Right.
And it says, this is what I see, and the sad legacy of hate.
Right. And then what was it say? Civil War was about what?
Slavery.
States' rights?
Slavery.
What, not states' rights?
No,
what?
Slavery.
Oh. Is it
states' rights to have slavery?
It's for people that weren't listening. Say it again, Corey. I'm sorry for...
The Civil War was about... What? It was about slavery. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And the Confederate leaders, were they wishy-washy about it?
No, they were totally clear on this.
You like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because we're about the truth. So go ahead, and I just want you to read the says South Carolina secession statement, and let's see if we can hear if it's not about slavery. Go ahead and read the whole thing.
So the ends for which the Constitution was framed are declared by itself to be to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. These ends it endeavored to accomplish by a federal government in which each state was recognized as an equal and had separate control over its own institutions. The right of property in slaves was recognized by giving to free persons distinct political rights, by giving them the right to represent and burthening them with direct taxes for 3/5 of their slaves.
Oh, it's the slaves again?
Yep. By authorizing the importation of slaves for 20 years and by stipulating the rendition of fugitives from labor.
Okay, so they had a problem with you're affecting the slave rights, and then they have a problem with the states' rights that she thinks they're addressing is the right to not have 3/5 of their slaves taxed, and then the authorization for 20 years of not having a slave. They want all that gone, right? So they want to have the retention of their forced labor. So that's slavery. So their states' rights was they wanted the right to slavery.
They wanted to keep the slavery.
Right. So you keep going.
We affirm that these ends for which this government was instituted have been defeated, and the government itself has been made destructive of them by the action of the non-slaveholding states. Those states have assumed the right of deciding.
So it wasn't so the non-slaveholding, so it was still about slavery. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Those states have assumed the right of deciding upon the propriety of our domestic institutions and have denied the rights of property established in 15 of the states and recognized the Constitution. They have denounced as sinful the institution of slavery.
Oh, horrid. Oh, how dare they?
Yeah.
It's sinful. Oh, yeah, because slavery is terrible. What the fuck?
Yep. They have permitted open establishment among them of societies whose avowed object is to disturb the peace and to elloign the property of the citizens of the other states. They have encouraged.
What they mean by that is that you are allowing freed black people to disrupt the peace by being in public as equals and allowing the property to just go around when they feel like it's stolen property of slaves from the southern states. Okay, keep going.
They have encouraged and assisted thousands of our slaves to leave their homes, and those who remain have been incited by emissaries, books, and pictures to servile insurrection.
Right, because why would you want freedom? I mean, come on. But so it literally everything about it is about slavery. Just so we can get that out of the way. Let's move on to the next thing real quick is understanding the world statistics and dynamics for terror incidents and suicide attacks. But I just want to make one. You can read this whole blog. I mean, other people, not us.
Right.
I just want to bring this up that they don't list states because when states do terrorism, nobody fucking cares.
They don't call it terrorism, right?
Like, So we went after the Nazis. Okay, so only if you literally do the worst fucking things in the world will we hold you accountable. Anything else? Yeah, you're good. Oh, you only killed about 1 million people? Oh, fuck. Yeah, you're good. Just say sorry. Say it was an unfortunate, accident. No one's going to, of course, be held accountable, but we've learned from this. So isn't that itself, a punishment?
Yeah.
You just go, fuck, no. What the fuck? No. So, but anyways, just real quick, let's look at what it says. Go down and look at the two things. It says terrorist attacks worldwide, sees injuries, deaths. See, they sparked in a certain time.
Yep.
Anyways, people can go read more of this. I want you to read where it says definitions of terrorism vary. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So definitions.
Something else, because I know we're also getting close to time. So
yeah. Definitions of terrorism vary. So incidents listed here are restricted to those that are not approved by the legitimate authority of a recognized state, are illegally.
Right there.
Yeah.
You not get the fucking bullshit right there. So it's not terrorism if it's approved by the legitimate authority of a state. So states say do it, it's not terrorism. It's like Trump, right? Well, if a president does it, it's not illegal.
Not illegal.
I can do anything.
Which is actually true because that's how the fucking system is set up.
It's pretty fucked up, isn't it?
It's stupid as it's awful.
Vile.
Yeah.
Like, do I like states? How could I?
No.
Go ahead.
Illegal are illegally perpetrated against people or property illegally
So you could have legal terrorism is okay, but illegal, yeah. Now, Cory, you've gone too far.
It's legal, so
Yeah, legal terrorism. Well, America. Well, and it's always going to be legal if America says nobody can judge us, right?
Yep.
No, we're for freedom and justice worldwide, except when they ever try to hold us accountable. Then fuck that shit.
Yeah. Or are done to further political, religious, or ideological objectives.
Right.
These are all
right.
part of it, I guess.
Okay. Well, anyways, let's move on to the next. There's more to read, but let's move on. Muslim terrorists and Christian terrorists? ?
Yeah.
Go ahead and read that art thing that I have.
Okay, so it says, condemn all terrorist violence. Out of the top 10 most dangerous terrorist organizations in the world, 7 are Muslim: Al-Qaeda, Taliban, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Tariq-e-Taliban, ISIS, Hezbollah, and Boko Haram.
Just so you know, I wrote this blog in 2016.
Okay. Out of the top 10 most dangerous terrorists in the world, all 10 are Muslim. I am Ayman al-Zawahiri, Nasir al
You don't have to read all 10. That's fine. There's a bunch of names. So don't worry about that. The point is just read the top things. There's 10, right? So it's just showing the 10 are all Muslim. But I just wanted to make a comment too. Even though this is accurate, I would also say, yeah, but as we already demonstrated, is not Israel being a terrorist? Is not America being a terrorist? There's not many states being terrorists that do not get held accountable or not even listed as terrorists. Because what happens if they're a state? It's not terrorism. Because
that's right.
What the fuck? Yeah. So, anyways, I just want to make that point. So, and also, it's how people judge things. But let's go read the top 10 FBI most wanted terrorists.
So out of the top 10 FBI most wanted terrorists, all 8 are Muslim.
Right. So let's move on. So my point is, then say it would be wrong to say most Muslims are terrorists, but it is right to say that most terrorists are Muslim in this kind of context. But also, I just wanted to show also that if you can explain things, it sounds terrible.
Right.
But if we explained all those war crimes that Israel just did, and you didn't see terrible, you're just...
Then something's wrong. Yeah.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
Right? See what I'm saying? If you can, or America, the things that they do, if you can literally look at this stuff and not get it, then yeah, that's a problem. So I'm also trying to get you thinking. Because of course I'm a rationalist, and my what I want you to do is deep thinking. I don't want you to simply doubt. I want you to deep think. That's what I want you to do. I want you to analyze and think, and then think again, and then be open to hear other people and think again.
Yeah.
Because that is where that you should be. Anyways, let's go back to Muslim terrorists and Christian terrorists. And then someone said something to me. Damien, we're just going to end with this little stuff.
Sure. Damien, how do you feel about Muslims with beheading anyone who isn't a Muslim?
You can go ahead and read the response.
So your response is, I am against violence in general, unless it is for self-defense or other defense. I think beheading anyone is barbaric and unethical. So then somebody says, Damien, especially in purpose of one's religion, right?
Pause for 1 second. So if you see what he's trying to do, he's trying to ferret out that I'm a bigot or whatever, or trying to make it that because I'm an anti-religious, anti-theist, that I have some sort of a bigot view when it comes to religion. No, I don't.
My response, religion is nothing special to me. As always, religion is a set of nonsense beliefs, and yes, I am profoundly against harming anyone for or because of nonsense beliefs.
Yeah.
So they said, Damien, I, a Christian, personally think Muslims should be eradicated for what they believe in.
See how he moved to that? You're like, oh, wait a minute. What the fuck?
Somebody went from 0 to 60 pretty fucking fast there.
But I'm trying to show you how dialogues, it's hard because even if you try a sensible conversation, how can I address, keep going.
Sure.
I had to give a big response if you noticed, because I was like,
my response, defense is a reasonable justification for violence, but violence is not for defense is hardly ever reasonable. You're thinking about eradicated people for what they believe in is similar to the radicalized thinking of the terrorists you despise. Such errors in
was
thinking,
it not, Cory?
It was, absolutely. Such errors in thinking are nothing new, as the idea of eradicating people for what they believe in is by and large a constant, reoccurring theme of religions. And this has been a favorite excuse for harming others religious thinkers that religious thinkers run to. I think religions in general, as all lies, should be eradicated, not people.
Right, and I told you before, that doesn't mean I'm going to take away people's or want to take away people's. I want to eradicate faith.
I want to talk to people and convince them
believe things that are not believable.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Just say, Corey, what can you not believe on faith? Is there anything that you
can believe whatever you want on faith? Yeah, like
literally. That's why I told the guy. See, I have a problem as an axiologist. There's no parameters.
Yeah,
it literally can be used for fucking anything.
Yep.
And then I said, how do you discern when it's good faith and not good faith?
Yeah.
Or it's too much faith and not justified. I mean, the whole thing is just.
How do you discern the power of my faith versus the power of your faith? Like, how do you know which of us is right? You don't. There's no way to.
Powerful, and you have different ideas. Then what? I mean,
yeah, that's right. There's just, no. So, like you say, there's no guidelines.
Right, but my point is, I want people to grasp that when I am against religion stuff, I'm against the idea that are conspiracy theories of reality, not that the people that are conspiracists should be harmed.
Right.
Or even made to not be conspiracists. Someone tells me they have a flat earth belief, I'm going to go against it. I think it's ridiculous. I would try to help them get out of it.
I don't want them teaching it to other people.
Right, but I'm not going to stop them from making their whole house all about fucking
their house,
flat earth, like whatever. If they want to spend their whole fucking life doing that, they're wrong. But so I just made a comment to clarify how I think, because I know if people end up not liking me, Corey, I want it to be because of who I really am, and not because they're strawmanning me and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Those favorite topics,
This is I mean, the Israel thing is a tough one because of the heinousness of the crimes that are being done to innocent people, and it's and for some reason it's controversial, so it's like it's something that a lot of people try to avoid, but I think it is very important to have, like, to say something.
Well, like I said, and I appreciate you, helping me do this, because the like I said, the meaning of this channel was never to just be history or something.
Right.
It's always been leftist activism.
Yeah.
I actually know how to use history knowledge to further that. Yeah. And that's just I and like I said, I didn't actually, people don't understand, I didn't try to do that. I didn't try to learn it to help leftism in a sense. It just was that I believed religion, and then I became an atheist in school, and I wanted the fucking truth. And then I asked people, hey, well, do you know about religion? They, well, no one really does. That it can't be figured out. And I was like, what? Does that sound like science to you?
What do you mean it can't be figured out?
It can't be figured out. I was like, I actually don't agree with that. And I go, it's too much, it's too hard, it would take too long. I go, it would take too long. So you're saying it is possible. It's just going to be hard. Yeah. And so that's what I did, as I just said at first, but it was all about my own investigation. I wanted to know what's true, because just because I realized religion was wrong didn't mean I thought atheists were right. Unlike some atheists, I was skeptical of atheists in a sense, or I wasn't skeptical. I just felt like I don't know, and how do I believe you guys? What, I'm supposed to believe you on faith too? That's why I always tell people, I don't want you to believe me. I want you to fucking understand. Don't need to believe me. No, never. You can actually understand. So but I'm saying, to me, that was the goal. And then, like I told you, what happened is I started sharing stuff that I was learning. And everybody started liking it, and I started realizing this is actually a good thing to do. Yeah, for sure. So I thought, I need to do this more. But then the more I learned, and of course, the more I was able to debunk this stuff, and I realized, it's all culture. And I was, wow, I figured it out. But I'm just saying, it wasn't like I thought I was going to. I just wanted to try to figure out as much as I could, and I also kept changing. People think like, oh, well, you have these views, Literally, I've changed the whole time. When I started, I thought maybe goddesses might be real.
Right.
I wasn't sure, and just because God was fake didn't mean God. I was open to the possibility, so you know. I didn't believe in it, but I was open to. I didn't know. And the more I investigated, okay, that's not true.
Right.
And so, okay, all right. And then I'm spiritual atheist. I thought, because I didn't know religious words and thinking. So, but then I realized, yeah, what the fuck does spiritual mean anyways? And I started realizing, man, it doesn't mean anything. It's like feelings or something, or ethics.
Right.
Why don't I just do ethics? But anyway, so I'm just making a comment that it's not like it was all one thing. Everyone sees the end result, like, oh, you think you know everything? Yeah, years of not knowing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's hard on, like, especially online. Like, that's part of why I don't argue online anymore, is because you can't tell somebody all the things you've read and all the things you've learned and all the work you've done to know what you're fucking talking about. Like,
exactly.
It's really hard to like so it's something like this, like a videos and like if you write a blog like you do, like that's a much more effective method of being like, okay, well, here's all the information and here's all the references, and you can, if you want, you can go back through all the way back to 2017 or whatever year it was.
2015 is my first blog, by the way.
So 2015, and you can look at it all and be like, I've done all this.
Yes. And like I said, I do all that because I fucking care, and I want the plain truth. That's me too. Look, I'm an addict for the truth. Just give me the fucking truth. That's why I can't stand, and why I'm so against pseudoscience and shit, and pseudo archaeology and pseudo history and anti, vax, and it's all the same. It's I just want the plain fucking truth, and this is all horseshit. This is bad. This is not helping.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah,
it's like. Yeah, like I think about, like, I started my old podcast in 2013, and over the course of those years, I grew more and more left, and I grew more and more away from the atheist community and more into trying to understand science, and like I did a bunch of that and understanding critical thinking and whatnot. And you go, how do I teach somebody all of this without having them go and like read everything I read and look at everything I've looked at?
How do you think I feel? Look how much stuff I try to get people to understand.
Yeah.
Like epic amounts of shit they don't want to understand.
It's a massive ontaking. Like
it is, but I feel pretty proud with some of the stuff we put out, man. It's good.
For sure. Yeah.
And
there's lots of good stuff there.
But going back to what you said about the atheist community, you didn't feel like it. That's why I feel like I'm kind of imminent or sort of not, like, I'm like an agitator against it, or to make it better, maybe.
Right.
Which is good. I'm just saying I wasn't ever, because I've always been the same. Like my cards for that you read like the last time, I think, about who I am, whatever. That literally is the card I gave out in 2010.
Right.
So I'm just making a comment, and not a fucking thing has changed. Just look. Not because I don't think sometimes we should change. It's just that I really thought out all my shit, and so I don't know what the fuck I would. It's like all of the things axiology we've talked about so far, like what's true, what's good and positive, and what's not positive.
Right.
I mean, like, what I need to change those. Those are like good. Children shouldn't be hurt. Like hospitals should be attacked.
Yeah. At some point,
surrendering should not be killed unarmed. Like,
certain points become just true things that you need to keep holding on to, right?
Yeah. So, but I think that, like I said too, I would hope that this discussion is going to help the online actions of people, because like I said, why go and say Israel is racist and all this? Not that it might not be, but I'm just saying, look at the crimes. Let's just talk about the fucking facts. Because the point is, you're trying to call them names or convince someone. That's always said thing is, what is my goal? Yeah. Because if my goal is helping, that's totally different than my goal is winning.
Yeah.
Because like some people, aren't sure if I've won a debate or not, or if I talk to someone. Sometimes they do because it's obvious. Because I just hammer through the people. And
right.
Then, very obvious. Like even like the one time that I talked to the nihilist Christian. At the end, he was not a nihilist. I rocked his world. He goes, "Oh man, you've changed me more than I already would." Yeah, but anyways, my point is that's what we should all actually be trying to do. And
Right.
I heard someone in the news today talking about, oh, if you're posting stuff online, you're not even involved in politics. What the fuck? Fuck you.
A significant percentage of people online are doing politics. Like that's online activism, online activity.
But to me, and my thinking is the person is political. There is
Yeah.
no part
No,
of
that's
your
right.
life that's not political. What the fuck? If politics is not about our lives, what the fuck is it about?
Yeah, that's right.
What the fuck is it about? If it literally is not about our lives, like what do you mean by politics? Is this some other shit? I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't affect our lives.
Some people seem to believe that like just the like the dog race of politics, the election stuff, that's all that we mean when we talk politics. But like, no,
Yeah, I
every
would like
single
that.
thing is
Not really.
politics.
Yeah, everything. Well, right. Like when I talk about being intersex, that I'm being political as far as also doing activism.
Yeah.
Because people don't talk about it. And in fact, someone commented in my my video. He liked one video of ours, and then one he didn't like, where I talked about being intersex. He said, "I don't like you bringing up intersex." Oh well, I really don't care if you don't like it because I'm doing activism right now because people don't talk about it, and when I talk about it, I hear fucking silence. I don't get support and stuff, or I get abused, or just usually, like I said to you, if they do acknowledge me, they just say, "Oh, it's not real." Like I think even he tried to intersex isn't real. Or,
of course,
you know,
it's fucking
you
like
can't
that's
choose.
just obviously
I didn't choose
false.
to
Like,
be intersex.
Jesus Christ,
It's, I mean,
intersex is real.
Person to me makes a choice to be their gender that they feel inside. I don't have to do anything. I never did anything. In fact, society violated my body by cutting me and trying to make me look normal. So society would be okay. Nothing to care about me. And in fact, there still isn't intersex rights almost anywhere in the world to not get cut. There's not protections from children. You know, the things that the conservatives always talk about, protect the children. Yeah, except if it's from genital mutilation, then fucking, sign them up.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, it's you're right. It's absurd to think that like somebody would not believe that intersex people exist. Like that's just nonsense.
Or they try to tell me it's DSD, which is delay sexual development. I'm like, look it, fucker. Don't tell me what the fuck to call myself, first off. Yeah. And just because you come up with another thing that sounds more like a medical problem doesn't mean that you've somehow removed me as an intersex person. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, yeah.
It's nonsense. It's just a denial of reality.
Yeah. And it's fucking, I've had atheists. I have a blog about it. A bunch of conservative, talking about the atheist movement, part of conservative atheists attacking me for being intersex and talking shit. Of course, that's when Damien was still kind of doing activism. And I attacked them back the way I know how to do. And the one guy says, it's not, I don't know, he goes, you hurt my feelings. Or the bigot that was saying shit to me.
You come to my fucking...
He's mad that I was able to make him feel hurt and make him feel shame.
Too fucking bad.
Oh, I'm the bad guy? Once again, it's like America. I'm the bad guy. I defended myself from being attacked about who I am. And I'm the bad guy. You didn't feel bad about it,
Yeah, that's right.
How illogical. It's like, right, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's the world I think we're in. That I call out genocide and then I'm attacked as an anti-Semite or some bullshit.
Yeah.
Or they say, well, it's not right. They have a right to defend themselves. This is not defense. And if you have a problem understanding that, you're just a fucking dumb fuck.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's right. Yeah.
Dumb fuck. What the fuck? How the fuck do you not know this is not defense? Fucking bombing a hospital is defense? You said that and you fucking with a straight face? Seriously?
If this is what you mean when you use the word defense, then no, they don't have a right to defend themselves. That's it.
That I totally would agree with. Yes.
This is what you mean,
hospitals is what you call defense. You're right. They have zero right to defend. I agree.
Fucking, if you want to play the game with the fucking words, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. But so go ahead and we're gonna wrap it up, Cory. So I appreciate it. Happy New Year, everyone. Even though I don't really give a shit about years, because
first recording of the year.
Well, it's just like there was an eclipse, right? And everyone went outside. I just sat in here and worked on my blogs. I can give a fuck. Okay, so nature did something. Okay, cool. Like, do I go every time it's a rainbow? Who gives a fuck?
Although I do like rainbows.
Well, I'm not saying I don't find beauty in nature or wonder or whatever.
For
I'm
sure.
just saying I don't sacralize it. So, okay, does
Yeah.
the sun blocked out the moon? Okay, cool. Or the moon blocked out the sun, whatever. Okay, cool. I mean,
Yeah,
you get
eclipses
what I'm saying?
aren't
When you see
uncommon.
it in my perspective, it's like, and I don't say that's because I don't sacralize things.
Yeah. Yeah, eclipses aren't uncommon. So,
Well, I mean, they're neat.
and
but-
we have a new year every year.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just to me. I wish that we cared as much about starving children. Then I would be. Now, if we make a holiday where we outlaw starving children,
Let's do it.
I will celebrate that holiday.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So, but we don't have that. So, yeah. Until we have some ethical holidays, yeah, I'm not interested in your grandizement or whatever. Anyways,
This holiday season is actually one of my least favorite things in the whole world. So,
although I told you, I would do holidays for a child because I believe that we should try to make the child's life wonderful. Everyone.
the only reason I do
mean that for every child on the earth, not just white America. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
So go ahead and tell us about what you're doing and where we can, learn about your stuff. Because everyone they should be supporting Cory. Everyone should be signing up to his stuff and becoming a patron, because Cory does good stuff and I appreciate him.
Well, thank you very much, Damien. It's at Skeptical Lefty or at Skeptical Leftist, pretty much any site. I have my website is the skepticalleftist.com, and all my links and everything is there, all my episodes. And
Well, tell us what some people may not know or are new. So tell us what it is that you do in your show. Because I would say, to my opinion, what people can grasp, I do like history and other stuff, and then also anarchism. Right. Cory does anarchism and also other stuff. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Go ahead and,
I think that's right. I do anarchism. I talk to anarchists about anarchism and other things, and then also I interview a variety of people. The idea is to spread critical thinking and progressive politics and left-wing philosophy. And also I do read reviews with my buddy Justin Clark, who's a historian.
You talk about socialism.
Yeah, we talk about Marxism and socialism and a variety of books that he reads, and we talk about the theory behind them. And then also now I'm doing me and my partner are doing The Feminist Family again. So we're doing it's a feminist-based show about that's kind of also like personal stories about our lives and how we live.
Excellent.
Yeah, so
that's great.
Well,
I've watched several of your shows.
I appreciate that. And you've been a guest on a few, so that's good too. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I like talking, as you noticed.
And me and Justin were actually talking about having you come on read reviews sometime, or maybe as a discussion on the Skeptical Leftist. We would talk about history and stuff.
Well, I'm always welcome to, and like I told you, even like last time I said about does someone want me on their show? I'm feeling better. I was feeling really fucking shitty, and I didn't want to talk to anybody but you, in a sense, or about bars.
Right.
I didn't want to go on other people's shows. I didn't want to fucking talk to because I feel like sometimes you go on their shows and all of a sudden you're like challenged and all these things, and it's not a fucking fun experience. And they start straw manning me and shit, and you said this one thing. I'm like, did you read? I say a lot of things. You got to read the whole thing. I also you could hear me say stuff sarcastically a lot. Right?
Yeah.
And I go, oh yeah, rape is good. Yeah. Genocide's okay. But if you took that thing, you would say, well, see, the Damien said that. Fuck no, I don't say that. I say it sarcastically.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to make a point. Like, oh yeah.
I experienced that.
Okay.
I experienced that I guess it's a little while ago now when I went on somebody's show, and then it was like I wasn't intending to have to defend anarchism.
Right.
Like I was just going on to talk about whatever, and it became like a whole thing where every I had to suddenly defend a world without police that was suddenly tomorrow we have no police and everything's the same as it is now. And it's like, well, that's not how things work, right?
Well, but right. Speaking of that, I was going to go on a show, right? Talk about atheism, not even anarchism, right? But the guy goes, hey, before we start the show, it's like half an hour. Why don't we have a little chat? I ended up recording it. So I think I did. I think I did recorded it, where I say I'm political. It's like half an hour of me defending myself against this shit, and then we started the show, and none of that went in their show. They fucking and I got him to kind of agree with my position, and then we started the show, and he showed none of it. I was like, "See what I'm saying, Corey? No." It's like one time, oh no. I had another time I talked to a Christian, right? And we were like going at it and shit. And then he's like, "Oh, let's pause for a second. I want to do, take a break because we're getting too heated." I go, "Okay." Then he spends the entire break defending himself and all this shit. I kept attacking and shit. And then he starts it again with, no. No, done with that shit. So, but I've been saying, it's shit like that. People are, I mean, you and me I think, are pretty good at trying to be, respectful of people and whatever.
Try to be.
But everybody is not like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I know I've had people too, like in the past, I did interviews, and then on the final edit of the show, I debunked a lot of the nonsense they said after the fact. And they didn't like that I did that after the fact rather than right in the moment. But right. Well, I feel like that's a different thing.
That is a different thing. No, they cut out and don't bring in because I kicked their ass. And so they don't want it to be in the video.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
no.
To me, record the whole fucking thing. Yeah. But also that's why I said I don't have any desire to fight people. I know I could beat people's ass, and that's not, there's no joy in that. Like, what the fuck? And plus, it's a lot of anxiety to me. Because let's say I can do it, right? I told you I can even get it takes me a couple days probably, but I can even get a psychopath to, in a sense, agree with me or whatever. It's hard because they don't care. And so you can't, regular people are easy to me. And not to make you guys feel bad, but you have this thing like care and ethics. Oh man, those are like,
yeah. We have like normal emotions that are like
normal emotions. But when you deal with the psychopath, it's a lot harder, even the sociopath, because sociopaths are bad because they don't understand. Psychopaths are bad because they do understand and either like being bad or simply don't care if they're bad. It's a completely different thing in a sense. It's more of a choice. That's like, so anyways, so I don't want to get into all that, but I'm just saying it's always a choice. Your behavior is always a choice. That's why I'm a sociopath now. I mean, I haven't not become a sociopath. I just try to curtail my behaviors, and I try to hold myself accountable, like I already talked about. Not because you deserve it or the world deserves it, because I need to be a good person. And like I told you, even better than that, I call myself to be an example that other people can become good people because of my example. So I do good when others are bad is not like a waste. And be like, oh, you're like throwing, good stuff to really? Because everybody watching is becoming good people. Maybe not this dickhead, but everybody else is.
Yep. That's right.
So anyways, good stuff. And definitely, I told you, I have all kinds of time. I'm going to have less once I start doing jewelry business, but I have all kinds I'll even make time then because I like what you're doing, Corey. So I'm willing to come on your show if you wanted. Not all the time, but a lot of times, because I still have a lot to do. But I mean, I totally support you. You know this, that genuinely. I like. I feel that Justin. Obviously, you're more of a friend because I haven't had as many interactions with Justin. But I also, me and him. Did you go to the pool with Justin and swim for 3 hours?
I have not.
I have. So I'm just making a comment. We ate in a restaurant together, and we did a talk together. I mean, I'm just making a comment. Not that makes me, I'm just saying that I also really like Justin. I always thought he was a good person. So I always thought he was cool.
Yeah, for sure.
In fact, like I told you, you're doing the position that I actually asked Justin to do. I wanted him to come and talk to me about history, my knowledge, but also address leftist stuff. So it's kind of hard to get that, So you got to find someone that's likes history, but also is cool with my anarchism.
Just got to fit in that exact Venn diagram.
Right. Well, right. That's why I said I feel really lucky that we met because we fit.
Yeah, for sure.
And so but like I said, I would be honored to come on your show. So
I'll talk to Justin again, and
like I told you, I like Justin, so
Yeah.
But also, Justin will have to remember that Damien's also a very strong personality too. Because I know Justin likes to do a lot of truth telling, which I don't agree with every truth telling he says. So if he's ready to have me on, he also is ready that Damien will call him out when he says things. He makes truth claims that are not true. They're just his opinion. And he does that, in my opinion, at least 20% of the time. Justin makes truth claims that are questionable as far as truth beyond his feelings.
Okay.
And he does this about books too and other people. He feels they're this way, and then he tells it as if that is a truth, which isn't. It's his opinion of the person's feelings. That'd be like, can you really tell? It's like, this doesn't help you understand. So I'm not trying. I like Justin, so I'm not trying to be.
I know.
But I'm a rationalist. I'm going to address things. It's just who I am. That's why I say.
Yep, for
anyone
sure.
that doesn't expect that to happen. I'm fine with people addressing me too. You know that. Hey, bring it on.
Yep,
Especially if it's justified. What I'm trying to say is that if I told you, Cory, can you, because you've been with me more than anybody, really. I mean, besides my wife or something.
Right.
Could you really explain me? Like if I said, could you explain Damien right now? Could you really do it? See. But and let's say you did it. Would you not feel that maybe you're stepping over the line, or maybe you're missing something?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm not. Like I said, I really like Justin. He's cool as fuck. I just don't agree with everything he says.
That's totally fair.
So,
yeah.
And like I said, I but friendly. I'm not. I don't attack you or anybody. Really.
No, that's right.
I attack ideas. So I'm just making a comment. And here's the other thing too. And not that I sometimes am not agreeing. I like his thinking on it. But that doesn't equal that he's correct. That is exactly like of Cory. If you explained Damien's morality, could you explain it as good as me?
Of course not.
Would you feel comfortable explaining it? Would you be comfortable saying that you were an expert at it? That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to. Saying,
no, I would not feel comfortable saying I'm an expert at it.
You see what I'm saying? The fine tune of the thing. I would not feel comfortable trying to explain my own morality if I was someone else. I'd be like,
right.
I said, well, that's all I was saying is the difference I would say with him is he should do, for me personally, my thinking is that if I was him, what I would do is say, I think, I feel, this is my impression.
Yeah.
Because then it's accurate.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I try to do. I say, this is my speculation about history. Although I think it's right, and here's all this evidence that sure looks like it's right, I'm still in understanding that it's still a speculation.
Yeah.
And that's also, right. I'm eagerly ready if someone can prove it wrong.
Yeah, there's lots of things where I'm like iffy. So I go, oh, well, I kind of think it's like this, or I feel like based on what I've read, it's this and this and this. And, rather than being like, what I'm now saying is 100% true fact.
Well, all I'm trying to say is that just like, right? Wouldn't you say I should feel pretty confident to talk about prehistory, right?
But I
still need to be epistemically humble.
For sure.
I really don't know that much, right? Even though I know a lot, there's still so fucking much I do not understand. It's fucking epic how much I don't understand. Even though it seems epic how much I do understand.
Well, and like I think that's like a thing that is relatively well understood, is that the more you know, that's how you know how much you don't know.
but also a lot of people, me myself included, can be overinflated in our opinion of assessment. And thus say things that are not accurate. Or they're accurate to our feelings and may still not be accurate. Like I said, I off the evidence, right, it looked like millet went from China. Even they might even still say that in the about millet on Wikipedia.
Right.
But a new article had come out, it said, oh no, all those other studies are wrong. Like I said, that causes skepticism for me. How can all of them be wrong? Archaeology is not a fucking fly-by-night thing. How the fuck does that many shit wrong?
Right.
It starts to, and then also, anyways, I don't go into all that, but like I told you, even though it was uncomfortable for me, I accepted that. Well, they're still saying, and I accept science, that it's wrong. So my whole theory that all these Asians had come over and brought the millet is now not what happened.
Yeah.
So I had to change to the facts that I didn't even, but that's all I was trying to say is that we have to change the facts, right? We should be an honest enough person that facts change us, right?
Yep, that's right.
See?
Yep.
You can say it like that. Isn't that perfect?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and there's another thing too that I always say that find interesting. A lot of people, not me, don't like to be corrected. Boy, that doesn't
Well,
bother me.
that's like almost the norm, right? Like,
Yeah, right. That doesn't
nobody
bother me.
like
I told you, to me, an honest thinker should welcome just correction.
for sure.
Seriously. So that's why, if someone's going to say something, like when sometimes people say, well, that I curse too much. I do. I can't, do names right. How often do I try to hide that I'm like, I say, it's right. And I'm wrong. I wish that I was better. Yes, it matters. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I can only, have the heart of willingness. I can't make myself, just like people understand, it's not just other countries. I actually am not good at names anyways, and it might have something to do with being a sociopath. As soon as you tell me your name, I fucking forget it, or I never listened to begin with. It's
Right.
terrible. I have to focus. Okay, what's her name? Oh shit. And I hope you don't expect me to say it back because I probably don't know.
Right.
It's fucking it. But I know that I do that. I used to, when people were talking, I used to just not listen, often. Like they would start talking and I would not listen. It's my sociopath. I fucking look at you and I just don't fucking care.
Right.
But isn't that how society does? Here we have fucking genocide and society just fucking doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right. And then they look at me. I'm the one trying to care and trying to go, because I know that's not good. Right? That's not good.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
See what I'm saying? But I understand, just because I have this inclination, that doesn't mean it's a good one. So just because you have this inclination to support America or to support Israel, if it's doing bad, helping them, supporting that is not good. Anyways, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Please do good. That's the end of the message. Please do good. Be kind. Be care about people. Don't put bombs and babies. Come on.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. See ya.
See you later.
Hello, and welcome to my channel. I am Damien Marie AtHope. In the simplest terms, I am an atheist-humanist philosopher and prehistorical writer-researcher at DamienMarieAtHope.com. I am specifically an axiological atheist. An axiological atheism can be thought to involve ethical and value theory reasoned and moral argument driven apatheism, agnosticism, atheism, anti-theism, anti-religionism, secularism, and humanism. Axiological atheists can be understood as a value theory or a value science atheist. As an axiological atheism's ethically reasoned and constructive pro-humanity. I am an axiological thinker, value theorist. The science of goodness, worthiness, usefulness, valuableness, virtue, reliableness, accuracy, validity, morality, integrity, beneficialness, etc., etc. We axiologists have a value consciousness. And in general, we see the architecture of humanistic humanitarianism value in people that we see as dignity beings. Places and things are not. Axiology is a value theory. In its broadest sense, it involves areas of philosophy that are deemed to encompass some evaluative or evaluation aspect. Therefore, it crosses almost all domains in some way or another. Now for a more detailed terms as to what I am. I am an axiological atheist, an anti-theist, an anti-religionist, secularist, humanist, rationalist, writer, artist, poet, philosopher, advocate, activist with schooling in psychology, sociology, as well as I am an autodidact, self-taught in science, archaeology, anthropology, and philosophy. I promote science and am against pseudoscience, pseudo-history, pseudo-morality, things that are found in religion.